What's going on, guys? This episode is brought to you by manscaped.com, and I want to show you the smooth package that they have. This has the exfoliating gel, the shaving gel, and it has the razor. You open it up, looks like that. Listen, it's for the guys that want to use the trimmer to get close, and then the razor to get even closer, so you can get smooth as possible. Now, they also have body spray and body wash, which are two things I use all the time. They're my favorites. They smell great, feel clean. I don't feel oily and all that after I use the body wash. It's got a nice clean feel to it. If you go to the website, check it out. They got all their other products. Go to manscaped.com/RBP. Check out all the different stuff they have for men's hygiene. They have cologne, obviously the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. They have boxers now. They have all these different deodorants and lip balms, everything you could possibly need. So get to manscaped.com/RBP or use code RBP at checkout for 20% off plus free shipping.
Hey.
All right, what's going on, everybody? We were on for about 3 minutes, and Paul mentioned the virus.
You shouldn't mention.
Yeah, and then we had to log off because I'll get my channel taken away, and I don't want that to happen. So, but yes, we can say that we saw reports that the virus is back, and it'll all be back by like December. Everything will be up in full swing. So, Mike, don't say anything. Don't say anything. You'll get me canceled.
Gonna be interesting.
It's gonna suck, dude. Having to fly with a mask on and having to get tested at the border and like,
if they don't close the border again.
What a fucking
Scare tactics, my friend. Scare tactics.
Yeah, whatever. Yep. I don't care if it's real or not. I don't really give a fuck. All I'm saying is I just don't want to go back to that shit, man. It's such a fucking pain in the ass doing anything.
The only thing I liked was the traffic. The traffic was much better.
And I liked eating at restaurants too. Nobody was near me. It was like 6 feet.
Yeah.
6 feet on either side.
But did you like wearing a mask until you sat down at a restaurant and then you had to put it back on if you went to the bathroom?
I love that rule.
That was ridiculous.
Hi, Ian. How are you?
Good, you?
Good. We're talking about the virus coming back by December and all the new mandates that are coming back.
That's fucking gay.
Yeah, I love being able to walk into a restaurant with a mask on, and then when I sit down, I can take it off. But if I go to the bathroom, I got to put it back on.
Wait, that's not a thing again right now.
What?
That's not a thing right now.
They're talking about mask mandates coming back on airliners.
For what? For COVID?
Don't say the word.
New variant.
Okay, take that out.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, forbid. What?
For the virus is coming back.
Really?
Yeah,
that's nonsense.
There's a Canadian variant now that's popped up.
Conveniently going to come back in an election year. That's weird.
Yeah. It's highly mutated, this one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on, please. Seriously, my channel.
Yeah, this keeps coming in election years, eh?
I'm just quoting what I read.
I know. I saw it too. So I'm just look. I don't care about all the politics of it. I know people are going to debate that till it's dead, but I really hate some of the fucking just the inconvenience of being able to move about your life.
Yeah.
Well, now it's really time to move to Texas because we all know who they feel.
Well, actually, speaking of that, Mike, I'd like to show you Exhibit A. This home, look at this fucking monster, right?
Yeah.
This monster is 1.5 million, which is not cheap, but I'm only showing you.
Find that for cheaper in Texas, to be honest.
I'm only showing. No, this is Texas. I'm only showing you because this.
No, in other parts of Texas.
This 1.5 million in Texas is probably worth 4 million here,
at least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look at this fucking thing.
It's a fucking castle.
It's absolutely fucking beautiful.
Yeah. Where's that city? Is that Southern Texas?
No, it's actually Frisco's actually just before Prosper. It's in between Prosper and Dallas.
Yeah.
So it's like just outside of Dallas. Yeah, just outside of Dallas. I'd like to live there. That's a nice area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. That's
beautiful.
Look how nice this fucking house is.
Oh, I like that overhang up there.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a Brandon Nava. Invite us down, man.
The
Give us a deal.
the overhang or the cathedral ceiling? What are you talking about?
Go back a picture.
Oh, this.
Yeah.
The walkway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. It's fucking beautiful, man. Anyway,
The wood panel in the ceiling's nice there too.
the wood makes it like nice and warm.
Fucking gorgeous. You sound like interior decorator.
Oh my god.
Oh, the
So warm and
inlets.
inviting.
Whatever,
The crown
Mike.
molding is to die for.
Whatever, Mike. You know it's fucking nice.
I could live in a fucking shack, really.
Well, I'm not saying I could live in I'm just saying, like, fucking that. I can't believe that is 1.5 because here it's literally like.
That's like what my house is worth in Canada.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 times that in Canada. It's
Especially in
insane.
Ottawa, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ottawa's bad. Eh?
Ottawa's bad, yeah.
Anyway, Paul, how is the new mountain biking going?
I'm loving it. I've been on it every night. I haven't started filming any content on it yet, though, because right now I can only see my face. That's not exciting.
Are you
So
gonna film,
if I could find,
are you gonna film like mountain biking vlogs?
I thought about maybe just filming some of my journeys. Because I go on some nice trails back here.
Be like
Pretty
a
cool.
chest or like a head GoPro.
No,
You know?
listen. I heard
That's what
got it.
Fouad
I
recommended.
already got it. I already got it for you. We'll mount it to the handlebars.
I don't look like a
or
dork
on
though
your.
with a fucking.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't look like a dork though with a fucking GoPro on my head.
No, on your chest is good.
No. You can mount it on the handlebars.
Yeah.
Nobody will even see it.
Just get a chest part and wear it on your chest.
Oh,
You're already a grown man on a mountain bike, so don't worry about that.
I look cool on it, Mike. You wouldn't believe it.
Mike, look, Mike. Honestly, the fucking helmet he bought is like this thick. It's like the fucking. He puts it on. It's like this high off his head.
So it only protects you if you literally
concussions.
fall on top of your head.
Yeah.
The
When you
crown
go
area,
ass
that's,
over.
that's the
Over the handlebars.
this is the this is the nerve center. I'm protecting that.
Summer said she was driving through the neighborhood and saw him riding a bike. And she said he's just riding around with his helmet, with this big grin on his face. Just fucking.
Are you right? It's not the e-bike. It's the actual bike.
No, it's the e-bike.
It's both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
was gonna
both.
say.
It's like a pedal assisted
Yeah,
fucking e-bike. No,
Yeah, I
think
got it
we
up to 50 kilometers last night.
it's actually pretty quick for a fucking mountain bike.
So are you?
That was
Hold on. Are you using the electric part on the trails, or are you using it on the? Are you
Yeah.
pedaling on the trail? What?
I always use the electric part. I'm always using
You're
the
not
throttle.
going mountain
might-
biking, dude. That's not mountain
No,
biking.
no.
Paul's just
It's
out there
something
for
you're
the
riding
scenery.
a bike,
He's just there
though.
for the scenery, not for the exercise.
No. No, I don't use the pedal. I don't use the pedal option very much.
Gunning up hills.
Yeah. Well, we have some like bridges over the highway here, so that they're kind
Oh.
of steep, so it really comes in handy there.
Yeah. You need
Uh,
to clarify mountain bike or e-biking because those are two different things, man.
yeah. Maybe we should call it e-biking from now
A Z biking, yeah.
on. So this weekend, are we all still in? Everyone's in? Okay. So
Yeah.
we're all still in for this weekend at the
Yeah.
cottage. For those who don't know, we're going to a cottage this weekend. There may be some shenanigans. Is anybody bringing dogs?
I am.
You're bringing all 3 or 1 or what?
2 probably.
2. Are they either one female?
They're both female.
Okay, I'm leaving my dog home.
I was like, who has
Oh,
got
you can separate them.
No, my dog will fucking literally drool and chase around your dogs.
Really?
Not nonstop. I already got
He
a,
goes
I,
right
got,
for the
I, already,
crotch.
I already got a dog sitter anyway. I
Oh, okay.
already thought you said you were bringing them, so I'm like, I got a dog sitter for this weekend.
I can
I'd-
bring mine, but I wasn't planning on it. But
Yeah, I'd like to bring mine, but he's so fucking brutal around like female dogs, man. He just gonna try and fuck your dog the whole time.
what are your
tries to-
are your dogs good around other dogs, Mike?
Yeah, my this one fucking here does this.
Yeah.
She does.
All right, all I'm asking
She's
is
like she loves everybody though. So she's
It's like
"Whatever."
our male Frenchie and the white dog are very good and they're like cool around dogs. Our female Frenchie is like a fucking nightmare around dogs. There's no way she could come. But
So,
Oh,
how
female
how old is that dog, Mike? I think I asked you before.
7. She's 6 actually. Sorry.
But
Yeah.
does she have any health issues?
No, well, she's allergic to fucking everything.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she isn't.
Okay. I don't know why I thought like she had some kind of health issue or something. I wasn't sure, but
No, she's good.
yeah.
My,
Okay.
my Pomeranian's fucking annoying, but she's only annoying around us. When she's around other people, she's well behaved.
Okay. Are you bringing your dog, Ian?
This is Doug.
Doug, I love that name.
Doug, what's up,
So laid
man?
back.
This is a dog with like the IQ of -5. He's like he's
Meathead Doug.
so funny. He's the cutest like idiot, you know.
Are you bringing
He's
him?
like, yeah.
I mean, we can bring him. He's good around dogs. Yeah, this
Bring-
one is terrible around dogs.
Are all your dogs good around water or no?
Well, they're
She
French.
looks,
What
she
the
looks
fuck
like she's in a bad mood.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah,
fuck's
really.
going on here?
You're okay.
Put me down.
That's the female. What's her name?
Beatrice.
Beatrice.
We
Beatrice.
call her B.
Oh, I love
like
the
no one
names.
calls she's B. Yeah.
Well, that's why she's angry.
Yeah.
You need her Beatrice.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd be angry myself.
All right. So we need to get. Are we just going to shop when we're there, or do I need to bring steaks and liquor and like what do I need to bring?
You probably just grab stuff in Bancroft.
Yeah, I was in.
Give it away. Where we are.
I'm expecting you to personally chef meal prep all my prep food for me. So.
Okay, I can do that. I rode to Bancroft this week, man. Riding up there, holy fuck! Ian, should I bring the fucking Riker?
Can you bring it on a trailer?
Yeah.
You can trailer both of them?
I brought the Road Glide and the Riker this weekend. I went to see my in-laws.
Oh yeah, bring it for sure.
The thing is, I think it's supposed to rain Thursday and Friday.
Well, Saturday we could go for a rip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It might be a bitch to bring for one fucking day, but man, riding up there is like, I was telling Paul. Paul started the story like
Oh,
4
dude,
times.
it'll be worth it. If you and I go for a couple hours on it and for one day just to put
Yeah.
on trailer, that's worth it. Bring it for sure.
We rode from because Summer's parents live in Halliburton. We rode from Halliburton to Bancroft, and it was like a 45-minute ride. But there's no fucking street lights. It's all 80 kilometers an hour, and every
Yeah.
road is like just curves and ups and downs. And I'm like,
That's
It's-
like Calabogie out here, like the mountain area where there's like some ski hills and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like everyone goes there on the motorcycle. Such nice roads for biking
dude,
on.
it's literally the nicest fucking riding I've ever done for like 2 days straight. It was amazing. So I thought I could bring them this weekend, and then maybe we just ride to the gym.
Yeah.
Because I think the gym is like 20 minutes from where we're staying.
Fuck,
Checked it out.
We train this weekend?
Sick.
if
Yeah,
you
we're
want to bring it, I'll drive it.
we're training this weekend. He's got a fucking
Oh, okay.
He's got the Olympia to do.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, you
Sorry, I
guys
wasn't
don't have
thinking.
to train. You guys don't have to train, but I got to train.
I can ride to the gym, and then when they train, I'll just go fuck off and come back. Anyway, Ian, what's going on? How's prep?
going along. So, I mean,
What are you?
It's-
What are you? 10 weeks? 11 weeks? 11 weeks.
10.4.
Okay, so 11 weeks. 'Cause I don't count it. till we
It'll
hit
be
the-
10 this Friday. So
Yeah.
So yeah, since we're Tuesday, it's like just under 10 and a half, I guess. So yeah.
How you feeling? Good.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I mean, you know, I'm well, we talked yesterday. So
Well, what we should talk about is how
we don't
you,
need to talk about that, but
no, how your week of training was.
it was good.
Now that
It was
you're
good.
done the week, you're back home.
My legs are still sore, and we train legs on Thursday.
Mike was telling me
Really?
Mike was telling me your leg day was fucking nasty.
Yeah, he's
Really?
fucking up on it.
Mike,
we
you
did we did a giant set of like Atlantis hacks, the Panada like squat machine and walking lunges in like a giant set. And we did a bunch of sets of that. Some we were doing like drops and fucking rest pauses and drops and like fuck, man, that fucked me up. That was hard.
What did you do, Mike? What did you guys do before the Giant set? Anything, or did you start with that?
No, that was like fourth thing in.
So what did
Oh,
you
wow.
do?
I kind of like structured leg stuff to be like really get like I did band stuff with him at the start and glute stuff just to get blood in the hips, and then moved on to just extensions and like one-legged hamstring kneeling curl. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Just did that and like fired up like a lot of blood into each individual area of the leg pretty much, and then go and hit the giant set. Just kind of push like start out slow, but really push the weight. Usually push the weight on one of the movements and keep
Yeah.
the weight kind of moderate on the other movement, and then end off with a movement that's just body weight. So you're kind of like dissipating as you go, but it sucks because of all the stuff you did before. So
Yeah.
you don't have to push as hard through every.
Yeah, so like the first set or two, like the walking lunges, you're like, oh, this isn't bad. And then by the time you get to the last set, the walking lunge is the one you look forward to the least. Because like you just did a fucking double drop set on a hack squat, and then a single drop on a fucking Panada squat, and then you're getting to a walking lunge. You're like, fuck my life.
Ian, in the phase of your career that you're in, how often do you get that sore for that long on a leg day?
Never. Like I haven't been that sore on a leg day in years. You know,
Yeah,
Really?
because like, that was a Thursday. It's Tuesday, so it's been 5 days, and like Oh yeah, like I couldn't, like my legs. If I flex them, they're sore, like real
Yeah.
sore.
Yeah.
They were peak sore maybe 2 days ago. They were a little less sore yesterday, a little less sore today. So by Thursday, when I'm supposed to train again, they'll be fine. But fuck, it took a full week for them to recover.
This honestly isn't a plug. So I did a podcast with Mike Israetel today. And
did you?
Yeah, and we talked about, for those people who don't know Mike Israetel, he's an exercise scientist. It's actually Dr. Mike Israetel. And I value his knowledge greatly. He's in the same realm as John Meadows, in my opinion.
He's smart.
From Detroit, isn't he?
I'm not sure, but anyways, so him and 2 other people have done the RP app, Renaissance Periodization, and it's become extremely popular. The reason I'm bringing all this up anyway is a lot of the debates we have on this podcast about being sore or chasing a pump or progressive overload, we fucking touched on all that shit. So anybody who wants clarification on all those little debates that we fucking have, please watch that podcast, because he was very, very insightful. And honestly, it's crazy. It's funny how you can get an idea of somebody without actually talking to them, and then you talk to them and they're not like that at all. Yeah. So I always thought of Mike as like
a hoity-toity.
Not a hoity-toity, but just a science guy, you know, like everything by the book, blah blah blah. And when we talked when I talked to him, it was not like that at all. He was very very nuanced, very like mix of I don't know if you want to call it bro science or mix of meathead culture mixed with science culture, kind of mixed together, which I thought was really insightful. So anyway,
I'll plug myself too. My first video with Mike, which will be my leg day. So there's already one of us training back together on his channel, and then the leg day, which is the first one we filmed for my channel, will be the next video I put up. So I'll probably put that up on Thursday. Yeah.
So the reason I plugged that is not just to plug it. I plugged it because you mentioned being sore, and a lot of people think soreness isn't an indicator, and Mike actually said it is. Can be. Yeah. This is what you're talking about.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Oh,
what do you say, Fouad?
Mike, I'm not subscribed to your channel. I'm sorry, Mike.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, man.
Jesus.
Congratulations.
Is that?
Listen, your stuff comes up all the time, so I don't subscribe. But so I
give congratulations to Mike here on that 100K too.
I congratulate him. I already congratulated him.
102K.
You're behind. You're behind, Ian. I already sent him.
No, I'm like 83 or 84K or something.
Yeah. This is the video you guys want to watch.
Ian the legs, and then we filmed arms and shoulders after that. So I'll have both of those to come after that.
So those are going to be on your channel.
Those will be on my channel.
So your channel's at 83K.
Yeah.
It's pretty new, isn't it?
I started last year, maybe, or like 2021. So it's like a year or two old. Mike's is fucking flowing way faster than mine.
I don't know how many years. I think it's 2 or...
This is Ian's channel. Guys, if you're watching the podcast, look it. He's got 19,000 subscribers to go. Just give him that little bump.
I don't know if I subscribe, Ian. I'll give you one right now.
Anyway. So you got sore for however many days, still sore. What else? The leg day was really good.
Yeah, honestly, it was something that seemed. What the fuck? We finished. Sorry.
What's going on? His dog's barking or something? What's Paul doing? Is Paul smoking a joint?
I'm following both. No, I'm following both these. Both of them. You know.
You'd have to do it right now.
We're not gonna.
I want to do it before I forget. I'm not. I'm pretty new to YouTube still.
Are you?
I just started watching YouTube like in the last year. Before that, I never watched it.
All right, Ian, are you back? What were you gonna say?
I'm good.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying on that leg day, it was something that seemed like so easy, but was so fucking hard. And I honestly think it was one of the things that contributed to leg soreness. We finished after all that, and then did a wall sit, super set with a.
Oh, I fucking hate those.
Lunge.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that was hard. That was hard as fuck.
What did you
like a static hold against the wall?
You did a wall sit.
We did that, and then at like 2 different, like a little taller and then a little deeper, and then we did like just a body weight squat after that. Just fucking cranked it out.
You know, it's funny.
How long?
Sorry.
So can I ask how long you do the wall?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Yeah.
So it's funny. My brother wanted to get back in the gym, and I was trying to motivate him to go. So I said to him, "I will go with you at 8:30 in the morning, and I'll do your weights. That way, it won't affect my training with Paul." So I was going with him in the morning, and we're doing like, I don't know, doing like 30 rep shit, like with really lightweight. And Nick is training us both. I'm like, I'm not training you. I'm just here to support you. So Nick is training us both. And on the leg day, he has me do wall sits. And I'm like, my legs are fucking killing me right now.
Yeah, that's static hold hurts.
Like, this is not a joke. Like, I'm fucking
Well,
sore.
and the thing with a leg set too is like you can hold it in like different angles at the knee to like make it like, if you want to stand up a little taller, get a little more direct on the quads, sit into it a little more, get a glute on the glutes on the hams, you know, so like you can fucking make it a different movement. And then with the squat after, like an actual like active movement after, like that, kind of just to fucking pump the blood in, it fucking hurt, man. It was good.
Hey, Mike, do you believe? Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
If you do a wall squat, would you do that like as a superset at the end of another exercise, or like how does that work?
Yeah, that's well, we did it as like the last 2 exercises. We did the wall sit and then with the body weight squat after it. So it's like a finisher. Yeah.
It's not a wall squat.
It's not after that giant set we did of the squats and the hack squats and the walking lunges, and then to finish it off, we did those.
It's not a wall squat. It's a wall sit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a static hold, right?
Just statically. Yeah.
So I'm pushing
not
into the wall.
Yeah.
Pushing against the wall.
Yeah, you're a static hold pushing into the wall with your quad. Basically.
Yeah, you've seen a wall sit before, right? You just sitting against.
It's been a long time since I've done one.
You're just leaning. You're just leaning back against the wall and
like
sitting
you're
down.
sitting in a chair, but
you're sitting in a chair, but it's not there. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're actively pushing your quads against.
Well,
so
you're
your
having to hold
pushing
yourself up as if there was because there's no chair there. You know.
Here, we'll just do this just in case anybody.
We should try these, Fouad.
I've done them. It's not. I've never. It's not. It sucks.
You didn't do one.
Like if anyone's ever played football or basketball, or they've been tortured with this during.
Ooh, you got to get the YouTube Premium, bro. What are you doing?
I don't want to spend the $5.
Okay. How to wall sit?
Oh, look at this.
Sit on the fucking wall. Oh, fuck Jack.
There's more. That's a wall sit, Paul. You can do it at different angles.
Yeah. Okay.
See, he's doing it like, yeah, you can go up a little higher like that, get a little more quad.
This guy's getting he's got 3 million subscribers. He doesn't need our press.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Shit, yeah, fuck this guy.
My channel, not this guy's.
Scott.
All right, so next leg day we're doing wall sits, Paul, just because you said I've never done them with you. So I have to do them with you. Yep. Mike, do you believe in extreme stretching during or post workout?
For
growth.
No, I mean, I think that if you're working with full range of motion and you're under tension, that would be as much stretch. You're stretching the whole time, right? So I wouldn't want to force. Like I used to, when I was competing back in the day, I used to do a lot of sissy squats to like finish off leg workouts, like on air, not like on hack squats like some people do.
Yeah.
But I used to really force that like knee over toe and like leaning back and collapsing. But other than that, I wouldn't just sit and stretch necessarily.
Okay. Because I know people like Dante.
Then we got this big fucker.
What is that? What mix is that? Do you know?
Huh?
What mix is that? I didn't even know you had that dog.
It's Dylan's dog. It's like a
that's
husky boxer mix or something like that.
Okay. Mike, Dante, for those of you maybe not know Dante Trudell,
he's big on that.
Dog crap training. Used to emphasize the extreme stretch post workout. So like if you were done training arms or done training triceps, you would hold a dumbbell like behind your head like this and like let your triceps stretch.
Or like going like a dumbbell press and just let it stretch, or
just let your chest stretch out
like
for
hanging in the lat pull down, or a pull up. Yeah.
And he believed in doing that post workout for like creating more room in the fascia and more growth in the muscle. I don't know if that's.
Did you touch on that with Mike? What did he say?
I didn't actually ask Mike about it. I'm just asking Van Wyck about it.
Bro.
Dude, we were on for 2 fucking hours. There's so many more things I want to cover. Anyway.
Yeah.
Go, Mike. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I can see where you could think there might be a benefit to that, and maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Who knows? But I would just rather focus on understanding and adjusting the tempo of a set. Like on Iain is so powerful that he has a tendency to get to drop into the hole and burst out. Like he can fucking move that. Whereas like I was trying to get him to understand, like you're almost thinking and like rocking off that tension as opposed to like
instead of exploding out of it. Yeah.
I noticed it today. I was training fucking chest and tries today. And like even doing my chest movements, like I had that tendency. I get in the hole like a movement, and I want to like explode out.
It. Yeah.
I'm like getting there, and I'm like squeezing it out, like out and like out into the movement. Like I was thinking about it so much, it was like fucking drilled in my head, like Mike over there, like
It's funny you said that actually, because today we were training triceps and I said to Paul after like, I don't know, I think I did like 3 sets or something like that. And I'm like, I can't feel my fucking triceps. I'm doing press downs.
Yeah, the first set.
And so I lowered the weight a little bit. And then I started coming up and using my triceps to bring the weight down instead of pushing, instead of like snapping from the top. I was like consciously going, okay, tuck your elbows, use. And I'm like, holy fuck, I can feel that now. So it's like that. But I think that snap is kind of taught to us, because it's always been taught to me like, control the negative, explode through the concentric, right? Control the eccentric, explode through the concentric. So I think we're all kind of taught from the start to like blast out of the hole.
Yeah. I honestly think that was one of the things, and like, Mike, I'm so glad that I learned that cue, especially for me in back and chest training. You know, because when I would do that and have that tendency to explode, I would get off the muscle a bit, you know?
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Especially in the chest, when I'm like trying to explode out of it, it's like, you know, when I'm really focusing on moving it out of the hole, not exploding it out of the hole,
right?
Like my chest pump and like the feeling in my chest was completely different, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Mike, what's going on with you this week? Anything good? How's the shoulder?
It's good. Feels good. Recovering really well.
He was shoulder pressing the 120s when I was there already.
back at it already, eh?
Yeah.
Trying to undo the good work he did.
I was fully back on my diet and doing well, and then I went away for 2 days and fell off the wagon.
Yeah.
That always fucks me up too.
You're gonna be fucked this weekend, that's for sure.
At least we're training this weekend though.
Maybe with me on prep diet, it might like motivate you a little bit, you know?
I'm gonna deplete from now until we leave.
Yeah.
Carb deplete.
And that way
and then a carb load on the weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, let's just get harder and bigger while we're there.
That's right. Okay, so we had the Texas Pro this weekend.
Fuck, that was a good show.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, thoughts. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first, sure.
Okay, Andrew... go ahead. Wait. Before you go ahead, let's see. Let's take a look at...
I won.
I was last, I think, wasn't I?
Texas Pro, Roman, Hunter, Andrew, Withers, Carlos.
Just do us four, because the bet was with us four.
No, I just want to see if anybody else picked Andrew. Nobody picked Andrew to win. Not Roman, James, Ben. No. Mike, Paul, Ian. No. Me. No. Nobody picked Andrew.
Andrew, our apologies. You exceeded our expectations.
Well, I do have to say before we continue, honestly, and I said this to Psycho Lewis, because we were talking a little bit in DMs, and I said that is the best, and I said this to you guys too, that is the best Andrew I've ever seen. Like
100%.
Conditioning, fullness, poise on stage, color, oil, like everything was like
posing too.
His poise, that's what I meant about having poise. The poise on stage, like it just looks.
He looked like he could have done 700 rounds of that.
Yeah, he just looked. It looked so effortless. And I said this. I said this to Ben because we were talking about it, and I said the difference was Hunter looked like he was forcing his poses and flexing as hard as he could, and Andrew.
I don't know why people do that.
Well, this is what I was trying to tell. I was trying to explain to Ben is all you got to do is contract the muscle. Don't flex it harder.
Yeah,
and that's that. And that's what Andrew was doing. He was just getting into the shot. The muscles contracted. Now I'm just going to stand here.
They're just like,
I always tell people that like doing this is like, okay, my biceps flexed. Doing this like harder is not making my bicep any bigger.
No.
Like, do you think that contributed to some of Hunter's sweating problems in prejudge?
Yeah, of course. He's expelling way more energy than he needs to.
Yeah, and probably flattening out a little bit too. Although he didn't look to be flattening out. But you think that
it was just a blurring from the sweat, I think, and I think that was, they were so close that I think that's why they worked them like that, just as something to like really make the decision clear. And Andrew fucking just stood there like a statue, and Hunter started to fade a little bit with the sweat. But they both look fucking awesome. I mean, that was a really good version of Hunter, very comparable to Tampa. And Andrew was fucking, he was just on, man. Like, he looked great.
Well, it's funny you said that because Ben told me that he talked to the judges afterwards, and they basically told him that. They said they were just really close. They said they had Hunter leading and then they weren't sure, so they just kept him going. Yeah,
look, there's obviously, when you hit to make a few rounds for the crowd, sure. But when you're doing 4, 5, 6 rounds, that's to judge.
They're not. They don't know what.
They're seeing who's going to crack first here. Like who's going to start to fade, who's going to hold it together, and that was Andrew. Just had the edge on that, and that was really it, man.
All right. So before we go into the analysis, Ian had Hunter, Andrew, Carlos, Lewis Breed, and Hutchison.
So I got 3, 4, and 5 all right, and then I got 1 and 2 just in the wrong order. Yeah.
Right.
Good job.
Mike had
Jordan looked good.
Mike
Honestly,
had,
I would have had, if I was
Wait.
judging myself. Sorry,
just wait. Just let me go through the orders real quick.
Sorry.
Mike had Hunter, Andrew, Carlos, Withers, and Breed. So all wrong. No, Carlos was third. Sorry.
And Breed was in the top 5, so we got him in the top 5.
Yeah. Paul had Hunter, Andrew, Carlos, Withers, and Su Yin.
Okay, yeah, you were last, yeah.
Suin.
What'd you have?
See and strikes again.
I had
He did look good though.
He did look good.
He did look good though.
I had
Conditioning was a little better. He's got a lot of potential.
I had Hunter, Andrew, Carlos, Breed, and Withers. So I got 3 and 4.
I just edged you out, yeah.
Yeah, I got 3 and 4. Okay, sorry. Carry on. So we had Hunter first. Okay, Ian, give me your rundown of the show real quick.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew.
What do you think happened between Andrew and Hunter?
It's just Andrew is just such, like, his standing silhouette and his shape and like the detail and pop to the muscle is just very hard to compete with. Like, look, Hunter was in better condition, especially from the back. But when Andrew has so much detail, like especially from the front, like the abs, the chest, through the arms, the shoulders, like every striation, every detail, even his back, even though his glutes and hams weren't like wildly detailed, you know, his back was like, you could see top to bottom, every little fucking muscle, his triceps, his biceps, the insertions into his delt, and like every little muscle is there, you know. I think like, look at this.
The poise on stage is what blows me away.
And I have to give him props.
Yeah.
The one knock we did make on him going in before was that his arms looked a little thin in certain poses. He brought his arms up, man.
Yeah.
Like his arms here look great. Like his arms were awesome. His conditioning is fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
It's impressive.
This is a perfect example of more conditioning isn't always better for everyone. Because like he could have brought this in maybe a little more, but I think when you have this kind of pop that gives that, you know, that accent to your detail and separation like that, you know, I think this was the perfect combination they made here.
Well, I mean, they tried that for the Arnold and it didn't work out for him. This is
here,
a better.
It almost made him look harder because he's so full and so crisp that it looks better, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I find impressive about Andrew is he's had very short off seasons the last couple of years, and he keeps making pretty big improvements between shows.
Well, he's pretty new to the game, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so why? Let me be more concise. Why do you think Andrew beat Hunter? Other than, is it just detail? Is that
No,
like
I think structure, detail, and then his overall poise and posing. You know.
Okay.
Ability to hold that. You know.
I have a little bit different take on it, but Paul, why don't you give me a judge's kind of opinion on how things went and why things went the way they did?
I think the biggest thing was that Hunter and the posing started to really show. You know, Hunter was, you could see him struggling at times for the posing. You could just see him getting physically tired, where Andrew could just stand there all day and nail those poses. I also think Andrew has a certain wow factor to his physique that, you know, that may have played a factor in the decision too. Hunter's a great bodybuilder. You know, he's a top 6 in the world, no question about it. But Andrew just got that wow factor, you know, that just draws your attention to him. And I think that was one of the reasons why he edged him out.
I also know that right now they're like why does he keep doing this?
I don't know if it's my
You're
computer.
shrinking on mine too.
What?
Every time we check out of that, it shrinks on me.
It shrinks on mine. Yeah. I think. What was I going to say? Oh, I think also too, which they're very harsh on lately. You know, as they should be. And not like it was bad by any means, but as Hunter got more tired, you could see his breathing in his stomach a little more. Where Andrew held those fucking abs tight as shit the entire time. You know. So I think that's definitely something. The stomach control. You know, even though it's just breathing, it's not like he's just letting it go. Definitely had an impact there, I think. And that's one of the things, you know, along with the sweating was probably one of the things that edged him out, you know?
Yeah. So yeah. And a show that close, I think little things like that made the difference.
Well, if you look at the scores, they were 5 and 4, both pre-judge and final.
One point. Yeah, it was one
point in both, you know?
Mike, what did you think? Any other thoughts on this?
No, I kind of agree with everything you're saying. I noticed, like what we were saying before, like, not that I was anywhere near a fucking great poser, but I just noticed that, like, a lot of these guys, when they're trying to show, like you said, they're trying to show more, or they're trying to like give the judges more, or like show more intensity, or that they want it more. They're posing too hard, and like you see, like Andrew literally lifts his arm. He's like, you can see he has like 2 tension points.
Yeah.
which is like his elbow placement, his sternum lift, and his like quad flare.
Yeah.
Everything else here takes care of itself because all these points are where they need to be, and he holds this position. So he only has to hold 2 points really and sit in his legs.
Yeah.
Whereas like all these other guys is like, I gotta vacuum, I gotta hold up as high as I can, and then I gotta hold this
I
position.
gotta push my lats out, flex my quad.
Yeah, this is so unnatural that like, oh, posing's supposed to be painful. It's like, no, it's not. The best side chests you've ever seen are the most relaxed ones.
Yeah.
The guy looks like he could stand there all day like a statue just holding a side chest. But for some reason, these front shots, these guys are like fucking. It's like
it's the difference between flexing and contracting. One guy's flexing as hard as he can. One guy is
just get the muscle to pop.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
sit where it should.
Well,
because at the end of the day, it is they're called shots for a reason. It's just how that silhouette looks. And can you hold that silhouette? It doesn't need to be like shaking and look at the vein in my bicep. It's like, no, just hold the shot and stay in that silhouette and then shift to another silhouette.
Yeah.
And hold that silhouette.
Hunter, I think that as he started posing a little more relaxed, and then as he got more tired, he was probably feeling he was losing the feeling a little bit. So then you start to squeeze a little harder. But then as you're getting tired, you're also squeezing harder. It's like a double negative, you know?
Yeah.
So I think when you watch his first few rounds, he was a little more relaxed. But I think then when you do your first groups, then you do your individual, then you do the call outs, and they did a lot of call outs, and then when you pair these, and then him and Andrew doing a lot of rounds, I think that when he started to get a little more tired, and then he's just hitting each round like a little harder, just to try and feel it, I think that kind of just withers you away a little bit,
What were you going to say, Paul?
Yeah, like you said before, like, contracting a muscle or flexing it, it's not going to get bigger because you're flexing it.
No.
Anything is going to get smaller.
Yeah,
over time.
right. You're shortening it.
So I have a little bit different take on the show, and I'm sure people are going to disagree with me, but it's okay. That's what we do here.
Allowed.
So this is some shots of them. Okay, this isn't fully finished. Hunter still has to vacuum this, so that's not a fully finished pose. But that being said, this is where Hunter lost the show.
Yeah,
and that's still the judges still see that whether he's in this pose yet or not.
No, it's not. It's not even that. Whether he's in the pose or not, like even if he did this pose the best he could. This is not a good pose for him. So this is number 1, and this is number 2. And these 2 shots, and they're both not in their shot here. But even when they're finished, it doesn't. The front double and the front lat are where he lost the show. If you look at the side shots, they're very, very comparable. If not, Hunter looks a little bit more balanced. And the same with the back shots. They're both not in the shot here. So this is also not a great comparison. But I thought my personal opinion was Hunter won the side shots and the back shots by a sliver, but he was getting destroyed on the front shots. And I think that gap on the front shots is what really hurt him. Now, this is the main problem. I don't know why he's doing it, because to me, it's very fixable and can be very different come Olympia time. There's 2 things here that people should see if you're trying to figure out what's going on. One, his legs are not as round as, because he's got them straight up and down. See how Andrew's kicking this leg out? So automatically creates a little bit more width. So he's not doing that. But the second thing is Andrew's creating more width, and also he has a narrower stomach. Hunter has a narrow stomach, but because he's trying to vacuum, it's making the sides come out.
Yeah.
Because if you see him do an ab and thigh from the front, his waist is actually very, very narrow.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he's trying to pull a vacuum. In my opinion, he should be crunching it down like Andrew is.
I think that they're missing the fact too that what I see is Andrew's hips are thrusted forward.
Yeah.
And Hunter's hips are tucked back, so therefore it's even harder to pull the stomach back.
Well, you can't,
because your hip is so far back, your stomach wants to hang naturally, right?
But I don't think
whereas Andrew's pushed up through and like his glutes are squeezed in.
Yeah, but
and that's why that looks so like flat everywhere, because the hips are so far forward, right?
Well, Hunter's got his hips pulled back because that's what a lot of guys do to bring the quad separation out, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's, and I can't do a vacuum, so somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it harder to do a vacuum if your hips are pulled back?
Sure.
Okay,
so because you've got to hold that posture of being like
you're
in front of your hips. You have to hold this,
like
all this weight that wants to go forward. You have to hold up high in here and pull back in. Whereas opposed to if your hips are forward and you're up through something, it's easier to hold a vacuum, right? If your hips are pushed forward.
So just imagine this one thing. Imagine he's doing a crunch down with a narrower waist, because his waist is narrower than this. And imagine he's pulling his fists in just a little bit, because the second thing that Hunter does is he's very wide with his fists. Like if you look at the angle here, the elbow to the forearm, it should be closer in.
Where it's like 90 degrees there.
Yeah, like if you see Andrews, you see how it comes out and then it comes back in. Hunter's goes out and then it's just straight up. It doesn't come back in a bit. So that's also hurting the shot. So the silhouette you get is like this wide open arm with a lat that's almost in line with the stomach and the quad, and you don't get this taper that you get over here.
Yeah.
And it's all because he's trying to vacuum, and I just don't think it's the right thing for him to do. I love Hunter. I hope he doesn't take any offense to this, but I've said this to Ben too. I just don't think that vacuum shot is the right shot for his physique. I feel like if he was
doesn't work for everybody.
I feel like if he was doing this more so what Andrew's doing, I feel like he would have, even if he would have lost that pose because, you know, it's Andrew's best pose, he maybe would have lost it by less. And then the show
close the gap.
Yeah, it would have closed the gap on the show overall.
Yeah. Yeah. Tyler touched on in that video he just put out about posing. He touched on the vacuum.
What did he say?
Basically said some guys should, some guys shouldn't. Depends on how it looks on you.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's kind of rare for like a bigger guy. Like Derek looks good in a vacuum. Like Luke used to look good in a vacuum. I don't know. Not everybody can pull it off and make it look right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just doesn't fit everyone's physique. It doesn't suit everyone.
Vacuums look like shit on everybody.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan myself, to be honest. Generally speaking, I'm not a big fan.
You don't see your abdomen.
I agree.
Right. I don't look at your ribs.
Yeah,
and it doesn't make it's like it gives the illusion you have a small waist. It just gives you illusion that you have no stomach. It doesn't bring your waist in.
But it creates a better
It doesn't
illusion.
create taper. It just creates like I'm able to suck my stomach in and like there's no definition here. And there's this hollow thing, and then I'm a rib cage with pecs on it. That's all.
But Mike, if you're talking about an illusion, when you can pull that vacuum all the way in, it makes the illusion of your taper much better if you have a good vacuum. Like if you look
I don't think it affects the width of your waist though. So like if my waist is this far and I can pull depth back into it, this doesn't shrink with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the illusion is still here. The illusion's going back into here. There's no difference in this. It doesn't pull me back.
Here, let me
drawing the sides in, you know.
Yeah.
Let me show you this. Like
that, I think that looks like shit.
Really?
Yeah. I would rather him be in the second one. Where he's up and is holding his rib cage, but you can see more abdomen.
Which one? I mean? Which one are we talking about?
The two that were beside each other. He was a little
second
more
photo.
Yeah, he was a little more open.
Yeah, there he's separated.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where you're looking. This one?
That one looks like a deeper.
Bottom right.
The first one you clicked on, where was that one?
The front doubles, yeah.
Yeah, like see how the left one's like really hollow and the right one's a little more,
one's deeper,
but I don't think he's doing anything different. I think it's just because he's bigger here.
He's bigger there. Yeah, he looks quite a bit bigger.
This is him as a 212. This is him as an open guy.
Yeah.
But that's just he's got more muscle, but he's still doing the same vacuum.
Yeah. I think the illusion of the taper comes from the fact that his hip is set back there, and he's able to pull a vacuum that far, right?
Yeah.
But if his hips were pushed forward, he would just look like a taller guy with a long torso.
Yeah.
Whereas that's what I'm saying. Like some guys should hit it and some guys shouldn't. Like he looks weird as fuck in that photo shoot one down there.
Which one? This one?
That one. It looks weird as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I like
that's that. That's the same arm position as Hunter. Like that straight up and down, no bicep flex. Like
I don't love the arm position, but I love the vacuum on him. He just pulls it so well.
I like when guys transition from a vacuum, then blow it out before the finish when they actually hit the pose.
Like this looks incredible.
That's better.
That's better.
Yeah.
I don't know what's better than this.
I just like to see what it looks like on him when he blows it out now.
Yeah.
Like he's got a tiny waist. I don't know if he needs to, try to accentuate it.
Yeah, Honey just pulls it.
I just think that when guys are trying to do it, thinking that it's going to give them a wow factor, like Derek probably already hits that. He already hits that shot well and pulls back. But like if some guys are like, "Oh, I don't have a vacuum. We need to work on it." Once I get it, then it'll change my physique. It's like, no, not always. Sometimes it detracts, right?
But it can though, because if you look at someone like Charles Griffin comes to mind. His physique changed night and day.
That made a big difference for him because he just doesn't have very good development in his abs. Like here, go back. Wait a minute.
This is
go to the third picture from the top. Third picture. See, like he doesn't have the best looking abs, so crunching down on them doesn't necessarily look the best. So for him, doing the vacuum is the obvious choice.
Wait a second. Look at his waist here.
Yeah, see, I think that looks worse.
Look at his waist here.
Yes.
This is way better.
On
I
him.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree in this case.
Yeah, so I'm saying on some guys, I think it can be beneficial.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it looks good every time.
Yeah.
But like I just had Hottie up there. I thought Hottie looked great.
But see, this is the thing. If he had good abs, like I think, Hottie or Derek has.
But Hottie has great abs. Like this is what it looks like, right?
So I think for Hottie, I would actually like to see him crunch it down.
Really?
Well, yeah, because like look at his front relax there. Look how he is. Imagine if he just put his arms up there. That would look so sick.
Yeah, maybe. I
like to see it at least.
Yeah.
I really like the way the vacuum looks.
See, that vacuum I don't mind because that's just like an elongated. That's not too sucked in. That I don't mind.
Yeah.
Like that's how
an elevated rib cage is fine, but
yes, I don't
just
think
like sucking in for sucking in sake. It's like
see, like look at that front double.
And that's what it becomes. That's what it becomes for a lot of guys, just doing it for the sake of doing it.
Just like long, that looks better, I think.
it's like we like Andrew Jacked. If Andrew Jacked hit a vacuum, we'd all be like, "What are you doing that for?" Because look how fucking nice your abs are.
Yeah, right.
It completes every shot. Look
at Paul Dillett's front double there, top left.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like, that looks fucking sick.
Yeah. Look, I mean, look, it can be great. Either way, I don't dislike it. As all I'm saying.
I agree that you should obviously do what looks best for your physique, but I do agree with Mike in that when guys are sucking in so far that it's just like showing off your rib cage and stuff like this, I think elongating it so that you can see the bricks of the abs look nice. But then when you suck it in so much like that, I don't love the look myself either. I think it does a disservice.
I love the way this looks right here. He's got it.
I like it better when he's elongated.
Yeah. I wonder if you're watching this, anybody comment below if you like a vacuum or you don't like a vacuum.
Bro, everyone's
a vacuum.
No, because look, here's Hottie.
Team vacuum.
Wait a minute. Here's Hottie with no vacuum.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah, let's see it.
That looks like shit.
I like that better.
This looks better.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think from that angle, because it's a little from the side, it looks a little better. But I think this with the showing the ab detail like that looks nicer.
I think this
like
makes
that's that second picture in 22 Mr. Olympia.
This one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, by himself. Like that looks good. That's just enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that too. That's
elevated. You can still see abs, but he's not like pulling.
No, like he's popping his rib cage in his chest out. He's not sucking into his rib cage.
Ian, you know what this is about? You know how you said now that your like calves aren't as awesome as you want them to be. Every time you look at somebody, you look at their calves first.
Yeah.
As somebody with a wide waist, when I see somebody with a vacuum, I'm like, that motherfucker's got a great stomach.
Yeah.
Always want what you can't have. That's the fucking,
yeah.
You have a small waist, so you're like, oh, I like it better crunched down. I had a fucking wide waist, so I was like, no, make it as narrow as possible.
Yeah, I was fucking training. I trained Regan today for the past like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
This kid's waist is this. I'm not kidding you. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen on a person that size.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
It's like getting smaller because the lats are like blown like crazy now. But the waist it literally looks like you could do that and grab his waist.
Really? He's looking wild right now too.
Yeah. I got to train 2 freaks in the last 2 weeks, so I'm pretty happy.
So let me Mike, let me ask you this because this is actually really important because Instagram can be very tricky. Is this a solid representation of what Regan looks like?
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
This is fucking wild.
Yeah.
I mean, the lighting and the shading on the picture is accentuating, but the every piece you see is there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like he's done something to it. And if he had done something to it, he'd probably make his right lat match his left because they're unbalanced. So
okay, we'll get into it.
Like he's pulling it up, but he's not trying to like suck his fucking shit in too hard, you know?
Yeah, he is. That's a vacuum, dude. He's pulling that in. What are you talking about?
That's a very minor vacuum. That's an easy vacuum to hit. Like, look at his face. He's not like struggling. That's just a solid, like elongate and kind of pull the rib cage up, but he's not like sucking it in like crazy, you know?
That looks like it's going in to me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, we'll get into that because we got Italy coming up. Going back to Texas. So we broke down Hunter and Andrew, why they placed where they placed. Then we had Carlos was, to some people, a big disappointment. To some people is what they expected. So Ian, you want to go first? What did you see And what did you expect? And where does
yeah, I'm one of those people that it's exactly what I expected. You know, I thought his muscularity in certain shots, like his front relaxed, his side chest, the hamstring drop. You know, I thought there was some poses where, especially from the front, his conditioning looked pretty decent. You know, and his muscularity is obviously crazy. But from kind of what I expected, the conditioning from the back and the muscularity top to bottom in the back wasn't quite there. Especially when you're staying next to Hunter, whose back is very good, and Andrew's back is very good. And these guys are also in very good condition.
Yeah.
It also didn't help him in a sense that, you know, being especially in that first group and being next to someone like Andrew, who is like a foot taller than you.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter how muscular you are. If you're even more muscular than Andrew, Andrew still looks bigger than you, you know? Like Andrew, like he was so big and so like drawing to your eye that Hunter or Carlos kind of got lost in that mix with those guys. But obviously, I mean, the potential is there for him to be an excellent bodybuilder. I mean, he showed up at, you know, I hate to be rude, but like, you know, a 4 to 5 week out level conditioning from the back, and still placed third in a really good lineup. So, I mean, you know, obviously he is an incredible bodybuilder. He's got muscle for days. I mean, crazy lats, huge arms, fucking the biggest goddamn legs we've ever seen. You know, I think if he improves his back a bit, you know, like lower lat separation into the erectors and stuff like that, and gets his conditioning in those glutes and hams, he'll be obviously, you know, forced to be reckoned with, which is what I think we all thought and knew. We were just, you know, banking the conditioning being a little tighter, but it just wasn't quite there. No.
I didn't think it was a great idea to stand against. I mean, these guys are top 8 bodybuilders. I don't think that's always, I know some people are like, oh, you should challenge yourself. And I'm like, I don't know if it's a great idea to put yourself in that show with those 2 guys as your first showing, because it's just going to make you look bad.
Yeah.
There's not really any way to look good unless you're a fucking phenom. When you're
especially with Andrew, like when you're standing next to a guy that's like the polar opposite of you. He's like tall, you know, the fucking like the detail of that is just like such a different looking physique, you know. And when you have a guy like Carlos, which is what, 5'5",
yeah,
you know, I mean, you're having like 8 inches of height difference there. It's so imposing that your best tools, which are your muscularity, get kind of lost next to a structure and size like that, you know.
Yeah, Paul, go ahead.
But I kind of give him some credit to that for that though. I mean, because he picked the toughest show of the year to make his debut at, and going against, like you said, 2 top 6 Olympians. You know,
look, it's one
so I kind of give him credit for that. It's
one of those things where you're like, if he does well, you're like, oh man, he really fucking he made the right decision. And then if he doesn't do well, you're like, yeah, he probably should have. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. My personal opinion as someone who had to do it was why I feel like, and this, I might be wrong about this, Ian, see how you feel, or Mike, when you're competing, when you start getting placed, I feel like that's how the judges always see you.
I disagree into the sense that I think judging is heavily based on improvement. So I think when judges see you improve show to show, I think they reward that handily, you know. You know, if you're better than the last show and you're better than the last show, I think he probably knew he wasn't his best, obviously. You know, I'm sure his coach told him, like, you know, this is going to be a tough one to beat some of these guys like Andrew and Hunter. You know, you still have a little bit of water and body fat to go from the back.
Okay, wait, I
think from here, I think next time if he shows up with a little improved conditioning, I think the judges are going to notice that and reward it. I don't think it's like, oh, you're stuck in third forever.
Okay, watch this. Justin goes into Chicago, easier lineup, not easy, but easier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wins his pro debut, gets to go to the Olympia, gets all the praise, and gets his stock to go up with it.
Well, you got to
wait a minute, or you're like, I'm going to go compete against the two of the best guys in the world and get not smoked, but I'm not going to be able to stand with them to their caliber. And now nobody's talking about me anymore. It's a business after all, right? You do want to raise your stock. You do want to be like,
I agree with you in the sentiment in what you're saying. And like you said, there's no right or wrong to this, but I do believe that if he comes back heavily improved, then that will almost bolster the talk from there. You know, if he comes back now and he's considerably,
I agree with that.
He was good. I think people will be like, you know, it's like when Samson finally started to get that conditioning right and stuff. It's like, you know, the people are like, finally, fuck yes. Like, you know,
I get it. I totally agree with that. People are always going to be rooting for you as an underdog, 100%.
Yeah.
But I just think
it's almost like a catch-22 because when you come in your pro debut at your absolute best, you've set the bar so goddamn high, you always have to kind of exceed that. For him, to exceed this, I don't think will be that difficult. So I think it's like, okay, look, you've got your feet wet. You've stood next to the best bodybuilders on the planet. You kind of seen where you are. You obviously know where you need to improve now, which you probably did anyways. I mean, we're all pretty smart at that kind of stuff at that level. So I think from here, it's just like, it's the only way is up. And I think that is kind of takes the pressure off you in a sense, you know?
I don't know.
That's why strategically I plan to come dead last at my first pro show.
Yeah. That way it's always up.
There's no telling where I can go from here. I can come back now and do better. I can come back right now.
No, I'll give you guys an example. So I remember sitting around with Justin one day talking about New York, because he was going to do New York originally. And I said, I don't know, you kind of haven't had really enough off season. Maybe you should put on more size. Maybe you should wait. And then I think he went back and spoke to Matt. And I don't know if Matt agreed or they had already had the plan. And I had spoke to him after. I don't know. But I don't know which one happened first. But I remember having the conversation with him. And he was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm going to wait for Chicago. Personally, I think it was a good idea. Now, I don't think he would have lost Chicago. I don't know if Tonio would have beat him, or he would have beat Tonio. I don't know any of that.
You mean New York?
Or New York, sorry. All I know is doing it was the best result for him, because there's nothing better than winning your pro debut. And I just feel like, I remember, I think Carlos's dad told Ben he was going to do Tampa and Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben was like, I don't know, maybe you should do something a little bit sooner. Might be better for Carlos. Personally, I think that's better. I do obviously tip a cap to like going against the best competition.
Yeah.
But I also think that you build momentum as a bodybuilder and with your stock when you're trying to get contracts, and you're trying to put out merchandise, and you're trying to build popularity. Yeah. And that snowball has to roll. And when you win your pro debut, that starts that ball rolling. Right. So
I don't see it as a failure by any means though on his part. I see it as somewhat a successful debut.
Failure is too wrong.
He beat all the guys that you expect him to beat. And the two guys that you thought he'd have a problem with. Yeah. And I think it was a successful debut for him. I think he knows where he stands now. He went against two of the best in the world, and he knows what he needs to do to come back and be one of the best in the world. And I think he can.
Does he really know where he stands though?
Well, I mean, I haven't spoken to him, or anything, but
because think about it. He went against two of the best.
Yeah.
Right. Does he really know where he fits? Did he learn anything?
Well, I mean, like if you're talking like top 15 in the world, like, yeah, I wouldn't so much tell you where you fit in that group yet, but I think he knows what he saw what he needs to be in that top in the sport, you know, and how far he may still be off from that ideal. But like, doesn't Carlos have colitis? I thought I read something about that.
Let me ask you this before we go into that. Let me ask you this. Does Carlos beat John De La Rosa in Chicago? Or Tampa, John De La Rosa?
It's so hard, you know, to say like hypotheticals.
Well, doesn't beat Hunter.
No.
So he doesn't win.
No, I know that. I'm saying like, if Carlos does Tampa, is he second or third? Or if he does Chicago, is he first, second, or third? Because the reason I'm saying that is because when you say he learned something, I'm like, does he really know where he fits on that scale?
I don't know if that tells him exactly where he fits, but I think it tells him what he needs to do to crack that top 5-6.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Top 5-6 at the Olympia.
Yeah, because both of those guys are top 5-6 guys.
He's got a long way to go for that, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure the scorecards reflected that.
Not only does he have to bring the conditioning, but he's got a lot of back to bring up before he can be in that conversation, I think.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if that's where he sees himself, he's seen now. He's competed against what he needs to.
He has the potential to be there for sure. Like he's a freak
for sure.
Before this, the best guys he competed against were, you know, guys at the national level. You know, like against, you know, the national version of Justin or other guys that were in the supers at those classes. Like he'd never stood next to top 10 Olympia guys. You know.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's benefits to both. I totally get what you guys are saying, and it is a big respect to be like, I'm going to go out and go against the best people I can find.
And let me say this too. This was also like a very good Hunter and Andrew that he went against. Both of them are at the top of their games. So, you know, I mean, it wasn't like these guys were off by any means, and he still didn't, you know.
But this is what I'm saying is I don't feel like it's a major learning experience because the gap between second and third was massive.
Yeah,
it was like anybody watching the show was like, okay, this is a 2-man show. And the call out said that, right? Because the last two guys they brought out were Andrew and Hunter. So it was a 2-man show.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm saying, like, you get respect for going against the best, but did it teach you where you really stand? Because there's a bunch of other guys between you and where Andrew and Hunter are that you still don't know if you can beat. Right?
Yeah. Well, I guess time will tell.
I think he has a better idea of where he stands based on going against those two than maybe guys who did previous shows and won shows and think that they're the shit and didn't stand next to like top guys, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Good point.
Anyway, okay. We have Italy coming up. Actually, before we go on, you want to make special mention to Breed and Hutchison?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and this is no shot against Breed or Carlos. If I was judging the show, I personally had Jordan in third. I thought he was very impressive. I thought that was a really fucking good pro debut. He was super balanced, good conditioning. You know, all his shots were really good. You know, he's not small. Like when I talked to him, he was in like the low to mid 240s, which is pretty fucking heavy for a pro debut.
How tall is he? Do you know?
I would assume he's probably like 5'9".
Yeah. I'm trying to find some shots of him on stage.
In the dark, but
he's pretty young.
I think he's young. Yeah, no, I was talking to him a bit. Seemed like a really fucking nice guy. Super grateful. You know, was super happy with you know, his performance and you know, just grateful to be part of fucking what was going on. You know,
this is from the side, obviously, so we can't really see it. But this is Carlos, Hutchison, Breed, and I'm not sure who this is over here.
That's Park.
Who's Park?
No,
that's not Park there.
Guy?
That's Withers, isn't it?
Oh, it's Withers. It's Withers. It's Withers. That's right.
Those quads.
Should have been able to tell. Should have been able to tell. It's the only guy. It's the only guy who can make Carlos's legs look normal.
Eric Fankhauser.
Yeah.
The thing with Hutchins, he's not really like missing much, which I think is really good. I like. It's very promising because it's not like he has one thing that's like wildly behind that it's like shit. This might be hard to bring up. Like he's got everything's good, man. Like, you know, his back is good, his legs are good, his chest is good, his arms are good. You know, like if anything needs to be improved, it's his back a little bit. But like this is a great fucking physique, man.
He looks like he has a great physique. He just needs to fill it out a bit more. Do you know how old he is?
Huh? What?
Do you know how old he is?
I don't think he's super old. I would assume he's like mid to late 20, like 27 to 31. I don't know.
Yeah,
this is his debut too, wasn't it?
This is debut, yeah.
If he can thicken up those limbs, he could be very dangerous.
Yeah.
Good shape, good like overall flow to the physique, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he's good. He's got everything. He's
like,
not,
you know, obviously got a little more muscle in those like lats and like the lower lats, you know?
But it's like you said, I think everything's proportionate. It just needs a little bit more muscle everywhere.
Exactly. Just a little more. Keep doing what you're doing, putting on, you know, 2-3 pounds a year. You give this guy a fucking 2-3 years, he'll be killing it, you know?
I just got Mike's text.
I didn't see it.
I only sent it to him. I'll tell you later.
Okay. We have Italy coming up. It's going to be actually fucking really interesting because apparently Good Vito, Regan, Nathan, and there was somebody else. Blessing are all doing that show, which is a fucking awesome lineup.
Yeah.
So Paul, being the IFBB judge, who think's going to edge?
I'm sorry. Can we say those names again?
Can we get the capital of Italy too, please?
Capital of Italy, Paul, since you're Italian?
Milan.
Is it?
Milano.
No, we should start.
Or Rome. It's Rome, right?
Is it Rome or Milan?
Rome.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You want to phone?
I'm bringing Trivial Pursuit to the cottage because I want to play.
Oh, I can't wait! I love Trivial Pursuit.
What I've been playing, which we should start doing at the end instead of guessing the geography like that. Have you heard of this game called GeoGuessr?
Yeah, they've been tagging me in it. GeoGuessr or whatever.
Yeah, so it just shows you like a random picture, like somewhere in the world.
What's that?
You have to say what it is.
Yeah, it's just like from a Google Street View pictures, and then you have the full map, and you have to like pinpoint exact guess where it is, and you can get like so many kilometers. The closer you get, the more points you get.
All right, we'll play it at the end.
It's fucking good, man.
We'll play it at the end.
It's a phone. It's a game you can download.
Yeah, I have it on my phone.
Oh, I'm gonna check it out.
What was I gonna say?
You should see the guys that are like the best in the world, though, man. They'll do this with seeing the picture for like 0.1 seconds, and it'll just be like a flash of a picture, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's southeastern Turkey, right around here," and they'll be like 15 kilometers away. You know?
Really?
Oh, yeah, that is a Indonesian street sign. Oh yeah, that's right here. And they'll click it and be like fucking right on the spot. Yeah.
Really?
speaking of Italy, I got pictures of a recent picture. I don't know if they're up online or I just got them, but I got some recent pictures of Blessing. And he fucking looks way better.
Yeah, he's been down training Revive.
Like Cameron Cheek took over his prep after whatever fucking Chicago, and it's like night and day. He's like has detail everywhere.
Yeah, way better.
So Paul, Blessing, Regan, Nathan, Vito.
I think it'd be between Nathan and Regan.
Really?
Yeah. But you think Vito or who's the fourth one? You said again?
Blessing.
Blessing. I don't think either one of those guys could beat Regan.
Don't let me sway you, because then if you suck, you're gonna be like,
okay. Are we placing? Are we placing here?
Well, I
Are
mean,
you doing top 5? Who else is? We need 5.
Yeah. Who else? I thought there were some other pretty big names on the show. Isn't Presti?
The lineup won't be out yet. So.
I don't think Presti's. I don't think Presti's doing it. He's
Presti's
already qualified
already.
Yeah.
Or who's the other Italian?
Muzi.
Muzi.
He's not competing. I don't think. No.
Muzi can't.
No, he's not.
I don't think Muzi can beat.
No, he can't with those guys.
No.
Oh, Theo. Theo's doing it. I think.
You
Saw
love
a picture
Theo.
of him recently. Looked good.
You love Theo.
I do like Theo. He looked really good too.
What is it you love about Theo?
Handsome.
Is it because he's French?
He's a handsome man. He's a handsome man. He's got a nice physique.
I'm starting to worry
Got
about
nice
you.
eyes.
I'm really starting to worry about you. You seem to really.
I told you, Fouad, I could appreciate a good-looking man without being sexually attractive.
Yeah, but it seems like your favorite bodybuilders are all good-looking men.
No, that's not true. I don't want to insult anyone and say so-and-so's not good-looking. You know, beauty's
That's
in the eye
not
of the
true.
beholder.
Like this guy, he's ugly as shit.
And beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So I'm not going to.
Okay, we don't have the lineup, so let's do out of those 4.
Okay, those 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to say. I think it could be really close between Regan and Nathan, but I'm going to go Nathan, Regan. Who's the first guy you said again?
Vito and Blessing.
Blessing. I think Blessing will be Vito.
Blessing. Vito. Paul, you owe Ian a pair of shoes.
I thought I was paying the most, but I thought we were all splitting on it.
Well, me and Mike got to throw in.
I thought it was like a pyramid.
Me and Ian got to throw. Me and Mike got to throw in a few bucks, but you're putting in the most.
We'll pay the HST.
The way I thought it was the way I thought it was the bottom guy pays 50%, and the next 2 guys pay 25%, and then it goes.
You made that up. You made that up. That's not something.
I just assume that
70%. It's 70%, and
70,
15 and 15.
What's the cap
All right,
on the price of the shoe? Because this could get fucking crazy.
Yeah,
We're not buying specialty shoes.
Ian wants an off-white Jordan 1. 5K.
Yeah, you got to pick some.
I want the Dior's, bro.
I don't know what those are.
I don't want to know what those are.
We're
paying 70%.
No.
we're gonna say $300 to $500.
Okay, we'll pick your shoes online this weekend, Ian.
Okay. Are we doing that again, or what are we doing this time?
Yeah, I
We
want
should
some
pick
shoes.
something different. Oh, you want some shoes now? All right.
I want some shoes. I want some new.
Let's let the comments decide this one. We'll say what we should do next is the next prize.
All right. Comments tell us. Okay. Ian.
Regan, Nathan, Vito, Blessing.
Regan, Nathan, Vito, Blessing. Mike.
Regan, Nathan, Blessing, Vito.
Regan, Nathan.
I don't even think Vito's going to be in the top 4 or 5, actually. But
Based on the last look from him.
Tough to say.
Wow, you guys are really hard on Vito, eh?
Well, what do you got, Fouad?
I got a fourth too, but I mean, you guys are hard on.
Don't come at me. Don't come at me with your aggressive nature.
What are yours?
Aggressive nature.
What do you got?
What are yours?
He's researching now. He made us pick on the spot. Now he's researching.
No, I just want to see. You guys can change your.
We've all said. Let's hear it.
We're not
It's
waiting.
sight unseen, man. You just got to say it.
Yeah, there's only 4 people.
No, we're still
No.
I'm just curious
You gotta
why
They
check
all
out
know,
Vito's
that,
updated
they all
picks
know that
first.
those pitchers can't be trusted.
I'm wondering why you guys don't think this could be a winner.
Can't trust his pictures.
You can't trust those pitchers.
Yeah, and he's never been against top notch.
That's not that guy.
I don't know, man.
And I don't know if he's been on stage with top notch guys before.
And if you notice too, almost every shot you'll see him doing, he's basically hitting a front double in all of them. I mean, there's a good example of Mike being right there. Look at the fucking difference his front double with the abs crunch down there. Like that looks good, but then go back to the fucking ab crunch one. That looks fucking crazy.
That's not crunched.
No, the other one.
Which one?
Go down, go down, go down. Yeah, there.
Yeah, that looks better on him.
That looks crazy, yeah.
But that's because he's not even doing a vacuum. He's just stretching it.
I know, but I'm saying it looks sick.
Yeah, this looks better. Yeah, for sure. That does Photoshop. Yes, there's kid's like 20 fucking 2. You're just like, shit.
He's got great genetics and a great feature. Boo fucking who to him. He's Photoshop.
It's a video. This is not Photoshop. It's a fucking video.
You can do anything nowadays, man.
Yeah.
Walk in the park.
Man,
that is 13 weeks out, though.
It's tough because he's shorter, and I don't know what he's going to look like next to the other guys.
Yeah. In videos that I've seen in the past too, his posing is a little bit weird at times.
This is what I don't trust. Like when you put that back next to fucking Regan, man, you're gonna have a tough time.
Yeah. And that inner thigh is like so precise that it looks photoshopped.
Mike doesn't believe it. He's like, this is bullshit.
He's got
He's a big guy. I believe that.
What if it was real? What if it was real, Mike? If this was real, would you put him in the top 3?
Look how fucked those legs look there. They look weird as shit.
So you wouldn't put him in the top 3?
Look how smooth the line is out from his leg, like, from his underwear out to his quad. It's like a perfectly straight line on the left side.
Are you saying that's fake?
Yeah.
Okay, let's pretend it's not fake.
I pick a smoothing, whatever they call it.
Let's pretend it's not fake. Then do you put him in the top 3?
Well, obviously.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering.
But I don't put him in the top. I still think Blessing will beat him.
Blessing's let me down so much lately.
I have faith in him.
He's got a coach
he's
now.
He's going to
though.
come through for us now.
Every time I fucking put
think
Blessing
so.
in, I get fucking hosed.
You don't know if he was all. He could have been sick that show or some shit. Weird shit happened or God knows.
Yeah.
He's on track now.
I'm gonna go with Iain. No,
You can't pick the same as me.
I'm going Nathan, Regan, Vito, Blessing.
Whoa.
You think Vito's going to be Blessing?
Yeah, I picked different than everybody. Everybody's picked
Just to be
different.
different.
That has to be a rule. That has to
Makes
be
it
a
interesting.
rule.
Every one of us has picked a different top 4.
It needs to be a rule now because you can't have people picking the same because it fucks the bets up. So
Well,
once someone said it,
yeah.
you can't pick the same.
No,
Well, then what we can start doing is we can fucking rock, paper, scissors for who gets to go first, second, third, fourth.
I think based on last show's results, that's who gets to pick first.
Sure.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
So you should have went last.
I should have went last. Ian should have went first.
Yeah, but
We just got to pick fucked up picks if someone picked our picks already.
Yep.
That's fucking terrible.
I think that's a bet.
Then you got to do
Then
better.
you got to be better at your
Better
previous
rock-
picks. Yeah.
That your previous
Against the Olympia. Against the Olympia, I'm like, who the fuck do I have?
Yeah, but
Every
the
good
fuck,
option.
You'll have to pick me to win the Olympia if that happens.
no, but
It's like an obscure guy no one's heard of from like some show. You're like, oh, I guess this guy's winning because fucking everyone picked everybody.
okay, let's do some questions. Oh,
I actually put up a story too to get questions.
did you? Why?
No, just because I thought
you
I would
don't
get
like-
some here.
You don't like my
Participating,
questions?
man.
No, but last time you were scrolling through a bunch and you're like, nah, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. And my fans, my followers give some fucking hilarious questions. So
All right.
Have you had any recent messages from your lover?
Yeah, where's underpant guy?
all the time.
Underhand.
Yeah. the sweet
All
underwear
the
guy.
time.
All right.
Got a special folder for him.
We actually didn't touch on this at all. With Andrew now qualified for the this is from Julian. With Andrew now qualified for the who's getting bumped out of the top 5?
Well, you need to put.
I don't think anybody.
I think the definite top my definite top 3 are Samson,
Derek.
Derek,
and Hottie.
and Samson, Derek, and
Hottie.
And probably Hottie, yeah.
And then Nick. And then there's still Brandon Curry. There's still
Nick and Andrew, Brandon. That could be, you could have Andrew up there.
Yeah.
I mean, him for fight for 4th, 5th, I think is not out of the question at all.
I'm not saying Andrew won't be in. He could be in the first call out. I just don't know if he'll be in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, he beat a Hunter that was 6th at the Olympia last year and is significantly improved. So
seventh.
Yeah.
No,
Seventh.
Hunter was 6th. Andrew was 7th.
No, Samson was 6th. Hunter was 7th. Andrew was 8th.
You're right.
So what the question was, who does he bump out?
Well, let's just do this. Do you think Andrew could be in the
I'll
top
say
5?
this. If he's bumping someone out of the top 5, I believe it could be Ramy.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. But I didn't even put Ramy in the top 5 because I put Brandon.
I do think he's definitely capable of beating Brandon.
Yeah, that could be too.
Do you think Andrew could beat Nick?
I think it's possible.
I think it's possible too.
I think it'll be very difficult. Nick is extremely fucking muscular, but I think in the back shots, especially with Nick's adductors and hamstrings, is going to kind of bring out that weakness in Andrews a little bit. But I mean, I think, with shape like that, it's going to expose a lot in Nick, especially in the front double and the front lat, which I know they weigh the front double over everything. Let's be
for sure. Yeah.
He's going to win 2 shots. That's it.
Side chest.
No.
Abs and thighs. He's going to beat almost everybody.
Andrew is going to win
front double,
the front lat, and the ab and thigh. Nick will win every other pose.
Maybe side.
You think Nick wins front?
Side try, but I give Nick the back shots. I give Nick the most muscular, and the front double you could maybe give to Nick based off muscularity. Side chest.
If Nick does the front double the way he did it in New York and not the way he did it last Olympia,
down all the way.
Yeah, because Nick was doing this weird thing where he was stretching and then not stretching, and it didn't look right. I think Nick, if he does it the way he did it in New York, where he was just crunched and held it, Nick takes that front double and then takes both side shots, both back shots. Yeah, I don't think Andrew has enough muscularity to beat Nick if Nick is in shape, and Nick is never not out of shape.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
In my opinion, I think Andrew could beat him in the front double by, but I don't think he'd beat him on the back shots.
Well, I mean,
possibly the side shots either.
But think about this.
Shots except for the most muscular.
But wait a minute, just think about this. The way we just said it with Hunter. If he beats Nick in the front double, it'll be by this margin, right?
Yeah,
right. But Nick will beat him by this margin in the side and back shots, right?
That's true.
So the gap is going to be bigger.
And Nick can pose with him all night too.
Yeah, he's not going to get tired.
No.
And I expect a much bigger Nick than we saw at the Arnold.
Yeah,
true.
So, shape can carry you, but the reason shape carries Samson is because Samson's fully filled out.
Yeah.
And Andrew's a big guy, but I don't think he's as filled out as Samson is.
You still see some gaps there?
It's not that he has gaps. He's just longer than Samson. Yeah. Samson's got really thick fucking legs and really fucking thick chest. And
Samson has a lot of detail and cording through his hamstrings where Andrew doesn't quite have that yet.
Yeah.
I do prefer Andrew's back double, like the actual back, a little more than Samson's, but that's the only part that I really prefer,
I think
other than Andrew's hamstrings, what else do you guys think that he can still bring up?
I mean, he can still bring up his arms a little bit, I think, but other than that, his quads are huge, but because he is so tall, obviously more quads is never going to hurt. But I think, the hamstrings drop from the sides and separation from the back is going to have the most immediate impact on his physique.
It's not just that too. From the side, and I could pull up photos, but I don't want to go through it right now. But I don't want to dissect his physique. He's got a beautiful fucking physique. Mm-hmm. I just think he does not have the same level of muscularity that Nick has. Nick will be in better condition, and shape can carry you over that, but not if you don't have close to the same muscularity. Like Samson's is just as thick as fucking Nick is.
Yeah. Andrew not quite yet.
In a lot of spots, maybe not his back. I don't know, but whereas Andrew, I don't think he's on that level of muscularity just yet.
Okay, fair enough.
I personally think if Andrew can keep the shape he has and get more muscular next year, it's definitely a top 3, top 5 conversation.
Yeah.
Right. That's just.
I think top 5 is definitely in the conversation. Top 3 will be a very tall order.
Yeah. I agree with that. I definitely see Andrew in the first call up. Yeah. And then he's going to have to battle his way through from there.
Yeah.
But I mean, also it depends on the lineup too, right? Like you got to think about this lineup. If you see Samson, if you see Samson, Derek, Hottie, Nick, and Andrew now in that lineup, it looks a little different than last year.
Yep.
Now you guys, now you got three guys with crazy shape with Samson, Derek, and Andrew. Yeah. Now it leaves Nick as the odd man out, not being the most muscular, but maybe not having the best shape. So now the lineup might change the way things are looking for the judges as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a judge. Does that happen? Like when you look at a lineup and you see,
yeah, absolutely. So sometimes the lineup kind of dictates the flow of the show. You know, like if there's one.
Sorry, go ahead.
If there's one outlier that looks completely different than everyone else on stage, I mean, not to say that that's, you know, necessarily going to mean that person's not going to place as high as the three guys that we're talking about that has great shape. I'm just saying, like, you're looking at three guys with amazing shape, and then you have one guy who's extremely muscular, not quite the same shape, but extremely muscular and conditioned. I don't know. It may work against him. I can't say for sure, but, you know, it may.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Ian?
No, I agree with him. I mean, especially like, you know, when you have like that and your eyes are just drawn to a certain type of physique, I mean, it can make someone get a little lost in the mix of like what the judges are looking at. You know, when you have guys like that are tall, wide, you know, super pretty to look at, you know, it definitely can change the dynamic of the call out, you know.
Mike, your thoughts on it?
I think the same thing. I think we're gonna see the Olympia trend more towards those like blown out freaky physiques as opposed to like I understand Hottie is very like he's very like sturdy, thick, full, like not the thinnest waist, but he's like dense. You know what I mean? I can see like it almost feels like there's like this an undertone of like pushing kind of Derek and like Samson, like these guys, like they're making a wave of like they're rewarding it, right? Like so it's like I can see how that trend could continue. And if that's the trend that's going to continue, these
Andrew's
little mass monster dudes are going to be in for a rude awakening because you can't fix what if that's the new trend, you can't fix it, right?
Yeah,
you're stuck in your lane.
Right.
So
yeah, if Mike, if you're right, then fucking that puts Andrew like maybe third, maybe fourth, maybe fifth. You know, like he's in there.
Yeah,
I think that you said though, it's like when you talk about Samson and Derek, it's like they have the density with that like shaper and like they're a little more compact, a little shorter, whatever fuck it is than him, but all the areas all the gaps are filled, right? So I can see how Andrew he'll still be in that vein, but it's like he's almost like he's still evolving to what those guys are.
Well, I see it. I kind of see it as like if you talk about Samson and Andrew, I kind of see it as a rematch of the Arnold. And I feel like Samson was. I mean, he was first and Andrew was third, so I just feel like Samson is still ahead of where Andrew is for now. Not saying Andrew can't. Not saying Andrew can't catch up, but for now, I think he's still ahead of where he is.
I think in the next couple of years, I think it'd be Derek, Samson, Andrew. That'll be, you know, probably the top three for a little while.
Listen, I don't think Hunter's out of this conversation. I honestly think if he fixes a couple poses, I don't think he's like, oh, he's out of the top 6 or top 8 conversation. Like he's still there.
Yeah.
I don't
think, for sure. And
I don't think people should judge this one show by like his potential for the rest of his career.
Yeah, right. And I think if he, you know, if maybe next time he comes in a little bit more conditioned to pose, as long as they've made him pose this time,
that's right.
Might be a different story too. You know,
that's right. What was it like to first meet each other, starting with Paul? Paul, what was it like for you to first meet Ian?
Well, I met Ian a long time ago because I judged him before.
Yeah, but that's not meeting him. That's judging him.
Yeah, right. But he guest posed at our show a couple times too, so I met Ian several times.
How was that?
But I didn't know Ian that very well back then. We spoke a little bit here and there, but I didn't know Ian very well. But I've obviously gotten to know him much better over the last little while.
What was it like meeting Mike for the first time?
Yeah,
Mike. I was afraid of Mike for a long time because I would see Mike at Pierce.
How you feel, Paul?
I'm gonna tell you, Mike. I was fearful at first. You're a big intimidating guy. I'd see you up here sometimes. But then when one of the first conversations we had, when you told me that Will Ferrell was your favorite actor, I thought, this is my kind of guy.
We'll always have Will Ferrell, man.
Yes, we will.
I like this question. If you could add 2 new mandatory poses to bodybuilding, what would they be?
How the fuck do you think about that?
Like, would it be like like the javelin pose, or like a fucking
No,
like
you already have a front double. That's stupid.
Yeah.
you're so fucking
make everyone trying to hit the Arnold pose and see how awkward it gets.
Yeah.
Like
the
fucking
three-quarter twisting, yeah.
or the Sergio pose.
Imagine like most of us think they'd be like,
Oh, that's a good one. No, those are actually both good ones. Because the victory pose, the Sergio Oliva pose, that victory pose will expose anything. Any faults you have will be immediately fucking exposed.
like the arms up here.
The fucking victory shot.
Yeah.
If you have shit arms or shit lats, you're just gonna look like a straight board.
Yeah, that's why they make guys do front double biceps and back double biceps as their only poses for the opening round.
Have you?
By the way, Fouad, did you see? Sorry to cut you off 1 second, but it's kind of important. Did you see? Tyler said about the side tricep. You can't do a hybrid anymore, like Andrew does.
Good. You should be.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like how guys did that.
Well, because I think that hides some shit, right? Like,
it's not a side pose anymore.
Well, I just think
it's a front pose.
I think if you have lagging hamstrings, now you've completely hidden them. Now you're doing your quad is up front, right? Or if you have a thick, if you have like a distended belly, now you've kind of hidden it because now you're turning it kind of to the judges. Or if you have a small arm, now you can make it look bigger because your arm is so pressed against your fucking side that it looks a little bit like expanded.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's right. I think everybody, listen, it's mandatory poses. I think everybody should have to hit the pose the same way so they can properly judge. Yeah.
I'm glad to see that.
And I like what Tyler's doing by doing the judging criteria videos. I think it's a good thing for the sport, for
transparency,
for people to hear from the fucking president or vice president what's going on. One of the head judges.
What they're looking at and why they're making the decisions that they make.
Have either of you ever dated a woman that made you pick between them and bodybuilding? And if so, how did that conversation go?
Not well.
Well, they aren't around anymore, probably.
There wasn't much of a conversation.
No, not at all. I've been there. I'm like, nah, sorry. Go to the fucking gym.
I dated a girl one time who said that if I get any more tattoos, she'll break up with me, and I went and got tattooed the next day. Like literally started my leg the next day.
Anytime
came home, was like, "What's that?" I'm like, "What do you think it is?"
Dude,
I might do my entire face next just to spite you.
In my
opinion,
opinion,
ways have to start a relationship.
In my opinion, anytime you get an ultimatum, it's like unless it's reasonable, you gotta do it on purpose.
Yeah. But the only ultimatum,
aside from like you're like a heroin addict and they want you to get off heroin, you're a raging alcoholic. It's like if you're trying to make me bend to what you think I should be, and I just want to do what I want to do, like, all right, see ya.
And not the person for you. Yeah.
I dated a girl once that was timing my workouts.
Oh, nice.
Hey, you've been gone for 2.5 hours. What were you doing at the gym? I'm like, listen to me. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this.
Squats, leg press.
I'm going to tell you this one fucking time. This is the only thing in my life I care about. Don't fucking bother timing me. There's going to be times when I go, it's an hour and a half. There's going to be times I go, it's 3 fucking hours. If you have a fucking problem, like, just leave now. I'm like,
between you and the gym.
I don't want to watch the clock when I'm at the gym because I'm worried that my girlfriend thinks I'm gone for too long.
If I got to pick between the gym and you,
you're
probably going to lose.
You're not. It's
such a weird thing too. Like as a female, wouldn't you like you'd want your man to like take care of himself or look good or like, you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you want that, or you just want him to be a fucking slob and sit around and watch fucking Netflix with you? Like,
but this girl at the time was worried that I was talking to other girls at the gym.
Of course, yeah.
So she's like, "What are you doing at the gym for? How does it take you that long to work out?" I'm like, "Listen, I might fucking stretch for 10 minutes. I might ride the bike after I'm done working out. I might talk to somebody for fucking 20 minutes. Don't fucking, I don't, this is not going to work. Like, just don't fucking time me. It's not going to work."
Yeah.
That's
like,
that's them reflecting on you, what they would do at the gym still.
Yeah.
You know what she was doing if she went there.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ian, ever any ultimatums with anybody?
Yeah. Like one of my only other like serious girlfriend I had before Melissa wasn't so much ultimatums, but it was kind of stuff like you were saying, like You've been gone for 2 hours. Like, what are you doing? Like, it was more
It
like
was physical violence, Ian.
I was going to ask, is that the girl that you told me the story
I
about?
told you guys about this.
That was a funny story I've ever heard.
Fuck, there's no ultimatum. So like, you're gonna die.
Paul almost fucking died. He was laughing so hard.
I got a bloody nose.
Is that
I was
the
laughing so
that's
hard.
the kickboxing girl?
Yeah, punching in the face every time she saw him.
Yeah. Going out to the bars, I'm getting fucking cold clocked in the side of the head. Yeah.
Oh, here's the
that's-
whistle. Boom.
don't even see it coming. Eh? Just sitting there having a drink.
The fuck.
Now you told me she was a kickboxer. I thought the story's even better now. I'm like, oh, she actually knows how to fight too.
Professional kickboxer, like she would take classes. Shit, she could throw a fucking punch. You know.
Fuck.
Would you rather save one person you love or 5 strangers?
One person I love.
Yeah, 100%. Andrew
This
Sampson
fucking dog. Look at this thing.
looks
Is it dreaming?
sleeping halfway on the bed. What the fuck?
Pissed off.
Yeah.
Wants to go outside.
Oh.
Andrew Sampson Quinton, who wins?
Andrew, Samson, Quinton. Well, Samson, right now, Samson, Andrew,
Yeah.
Quinton.
Yeah.
Do I think that could change? Yes, but do I think as of now, that's where it is?
How do contacts work on show day? Can you put them in with a tan on? Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta get him spray tanned.
they're not.
You gotta spray tan him.
Can't leave anything. White.
Yeah, it's like contacts. You like put them back.
Wait. Lee Priest answers. They work by helping you see every day, even during contest. If I bench 450 by the end of January 17th. If I bench 450 by the end of January, I'm 17 years old. Can I fly myself to Canada and train with you and Paul?
Sure.
No.
Fuck.
Oh,
How did we become a part of that?
Why is it my fault? Worst pain you've had from a pin, and which body part was it? Any advice to help relieve pain from one?
From a shot?
It doesn't hurt that bad. What the fuck?
I remember I had one. I remember one I put in my fucking delt one time, and it was like I shot fucking like just the needle going in. It felt like I stabbed myself with a fucking fire. Like it burned so bad.
It's like you punctured right into a
I had one
nerve.
of those.
Oh my god, it was like searing pain immediately. Yeah.
I've had some bad quad ones where I can't walk for a few days.
Yeah, quad ones.
I've never had bad. I can't say never. I've never had shots so bad that I was like, oh, I remember how painful that is. But I have had shots where I coughed so bad that I thought I was going to die.
From like Trent.
Oh yeah, Trent.
I don't know if it was Trent. I can't remember what it was. I remember doing a shot once, and I was by myself in my apartment, and I remember taking the shot out and like wiping it with fucking alcohol, and then I remember starting to cough, and I'm like, the cough wouldn't stop, and then I started to panic, and then I started sweating, and I kept coughing, and I'm like, I might die right here
From a Trent shot.
I don't know if it was Trent. I don't know if I just hit a wrong spot, but I was like, what the fuck?
Likely,
man?
yeah. And then your anxiety kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that Mike and Fouad could pop off on here. What is an urban legend that you believe is true?
Like, does that include like Bigfoot and
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
I don't believe in any of that shit.
I don't think I do either.
That JFK was a conspiracy?
No, that's a conspiracy. That's not an urban legend. Urban legends like the Loch Ness Monster, like
mermaids?
Oh.
Yeah.
I think there's mermaids.
is Megalodon
Sirens.
is Megalodon an urban legend?
I don't know. I think those are kind of somewhat proven, aren't they?
Like the giant shark?
What's Megalodon for?
Megalodon smile more than once a day.
What'd you say?
Is it gay for a man to smile more than once a day?
Yeah.
Fuck no, man. I smile all the time. What else you got, Ian? Anything good?
Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. I gotta get this done.
Go ahead.
If you've never had sex with a man but hate sex with women, are you gay or just don't care about sex?
Say it again.
If you never had sex with a man but you hate sex with women,
are you gay?
Maybe.
Likely.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe
Strong
because
chance.
maybe you just don't like sex, period.
Yeah, but who doesn't like sex?
Lots of people.
Guys? I don't think too many guys don't like sex.
Cigarettes sometimes as an appetite suppressant during prep. Yay or nay? Absolutely yay.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Is there men that don't like sex? Here, Paul. This is for you, baby.
Just call you baby.
Some men have low libidos and do not feel the urge to have sex often.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
If your wife,
some gay guy wrote that.
Wait, Ian.
Yeah, no, I don't.
What's an asexual?
Is there any guy who doesn't like sex? And it says yes.
Asexual.
Asexuals have no sexual interest. This is what I'm talking about.
What the fuck's an asexual?
Exactly what I just said to you.
How do you determine between an asexual and someone whose test levels are like 0? You know,
because if you have 0,
what do you call those guys with no dicks?
If you took an asexual and cranked him full of tren, is he still going to be asexual?
But wait a minute. This is what I think. I think if you have low libido, you want to have sex but don't have the urge. Like you're like, yeah, I could fuck, but like
those are hard to differentiate, man. If you've always had a low libido, you could just think like, man, I don't like sex. You know,
maybe you have great libido and you fucking jerk off all day long, but you don't want to have sex.
Maybe, yeah.
Do you like your hand better?
Yeah, maybe you just don't want to be bothered.
If your wife proposed a threesome, and I'll add to this a little bit. If your wife proposed a threesome with your celebrity crush, but you had to get pegged, would you accept it?
No. Too many problems are going to arise from that situation.
Yeah, that's always a slippery slope.
Wait.
I just heard Paul say you like your hand better. That's all I heard.
We're talking about
asexual. We're talking about asexuals. Wait, I want to go. Wait, Ian, go back to this. You get to fuck your celebrity crush.
Yeah, he just said threesome with a woman, but that's too boring. So I'll say your wife proposed a threesome with your celebrity crush, but you also have to get pegged. Would you accept?
During the threesome, or is this before? And then I can do whatever I want during the threesome.
During the threesome, your celebrity crush gets to peg you, but you also will get to fuck her.
How big is that peg?
7 inches.
No,
never. I'm not getting entered.
Not too girthy. Not too girthy.
Is there a time limit for this pegging?
1 minute.
Oh man, that's a long time.
That's a long time to get entered.
1 minute of moderate speed thrusting.
1 minute of entering.
Moderate. Yeah. Balls deep too.
Yeah, balls deep.
Entered.
I can't do that. I don't know. I'd have
Paul's new theme song is "Enter Sandman." Metallica just starts playing.
Yeah. The opening.
Or this, Paul. It says, "Ask Paul what the biggest joint he's ever smoked is."
The biggest. Normally, I smoke joints solo, so I don't roll them massive.
Like that.
Although, what's that, Fouad?
Is that
cigar? Oh, I've had, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, have you smoked like that thick?
I smoked this thing. It's called a donut. This thing is crazy. So in the middle is all resin, and then around it is weed. So as you're smoking it, it burns at the same rate, kind of. Holy fuck, that's crazy.
How do you function? I can't even fucking function if I smoke weed.
I got another filthy one for you.
I'm highly functional on it.
I'm functioning right now.
Yeah, I smoked an hour ago. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ian.
So you do a normal one, so I'm not just piling dirty ones on top of each other.
When can we finally get Paul his own Paulcast with his own guests?
Well, I was thinking, with my own guests?
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. Well, we talked many times about doing in-studio stuff.
I think you should have like high brow academics on and just act like you're one of them and just and call them out on everything. I think you're mistaken. No, I'm an expert. Are you sure? I don't think so. Like Jordan Peterson on, you start telling him about psychology. Like, no.
I would love to talk to Jordan Peterson.
So
wait. Is it appropriate for a man to ask another man in public if it's gay for two heterosexual men to go to the beach together? What?
So, like, is it gay to ask another man to go to the beach?
No, it's not gay.
No.
What if their intention is to go look for girls?
Yeah.
Or throw a football around or something.
Would you rather suck
football around? Paul, do you want to go to the beach and throw football? Me and you.
Yeah, we'll go throw a football. Good. Sure. Let's go to Sandpoint Beach tomorrow.
Go play some fucking pickleball.
Go ahead, Ian.
Would you rather suck a dick or watch your wife suck a dick?
Oh, that's
They never have
tough.
good answers to these things.
Dark, man.
This shows this is the kind of people. These are all the questions I have. You know.
Let's go over these questions. Dick.
There's a central theme to all these questions.
It's like this. It's like, do you or any of the guys enjoy the feeling when you have a good shit, and does that make you a little gay?
No, but I do
Oh,
enjoy
it
it.
makes you a man.
Yeah. Who doesn't like to?
No, because I'm
I
not
took a
enjoying.
picture of one of my shits last
I'm
week.
not
'cause
enjoying
I
the
was so proud of it.
Did you send it to somebody?
No, I wanted to. I was gonna send it to you guys, but I thought you could gross out. So I was like,
Don't
fuck it.
send
I
me
would've
any
been fine
shit
with
I
that.
pictures.
was so fucking proud of this thing, man.
Send it to
It's
Paul.
like-
Paul will enjoy it.
I don't
send it
mind.
to me.
I don't mind. We'll share pics, Mike. Yeah, no, Fouad doesn't like that though. I sent him a picture once of my shit. He got mad at me for it. Remember when I first started taking psyllium husk? I sent you a picture of my first one.
Yeah, the stuff that I take is like so rewarding every day.
Yeah, I want to
So
share with
rewarding.
others. So they, yeah.
Are you
Feel
guys
that
fucking
relief, man.
serious?
Yeah,
You really want to share your shit pictures with someone else?
I don't want to, but I'm talking if like once a year, I'm like, wow, someone needs to see this other than me.
Yeah, I can't just so I must share this. Yeah.
I can't flush this.
Like I'm
Or
proud
is
of
that
it, but I'm also worried about it because I
Yeah.
don't know why it's this big.
Maybe I got a tapeworm or something.
Like how did it get out of me?
So like you got to stick and break it up while it's in the toilet before you flush it.
I don't know if you guys know the answer. Are there any pros? It says current, but we can do not current. Any pro that's famous for something else other than bodybuilding, singing, etc. Well, Kevin Levrone used to be in a band, right?
I don't know if he's famous for it though.
No, but he was in like
Well,
a decent
I could
a
think of
band that
something.
a band that would like
Carrot
tour.
Top.
No, there's
Carrot
not,
Top used to be jacked, and he's a comedian.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think there's any body. Well, I mean Arnold. That's it.
Did you ever see Carrot Top when he
Yeah.
was jacked? How tall his
Yeah.
shoulders were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck, man!
I could think of one thing, Fouad, but I don't want to say it.
Well, why'd you bring it up?
That doesn't help us.
Whoa, because it just came to mind. Grapefruit.
Is it? Oh,
Grapefruit? Did you just
he's
say
not-
grapefruit?
He's not famous for that.
He's pretending
Well
like he
known.
didn't say it.
I know.
He's staring at the camera.
And he said it
Maybe
like
edit
really.
that part.
He said it
He
like
said
really
grapefruit
quick.
without moving his mouth.
He said it like really.
But I don't move
really,
my lips.
really
Don't move
quick.
my lips and say it.
A grapefruit.
I wouldn't say that's a talent either. I'm pretty sure we could do that right now.
What do you got? Anything else?
This one's it's kind of like redundant in a sense. If you're coaching an obese client, would you focus more on weight loss, BMI, or progress? Like they're kind of all one and the same at the same. I would go by visual progress for sure. You know, like obviously if you're changing the look, I think that's probably the best indicator.
I think he knows what. I think I know. I think I know what he means. If somebody's,
I think if
obese,
someone's like morbidly obese, you know, like we're talking 400, 500, 600 pounds, I think then you have to go off weight initially because those visual changes might not be apparent for like 100 pounds. So I think scale might be the best, you know?
Yeah. I don't think you have to be that fat. I think if somebody's like 20% body fat, 25% body fat or more, I think I would, obviously you're going to train somebody hard, but I think I'm going to be like, hey, we should keep your calories like, we should keep you in a deficit to get this fat off.
Yeah.
Got a lot of stored calories. We can
I trained a really obese kid. He was a Persian kid back in the day. He was like 400 pounds when I got him. And I literally just made him move.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't moving.
Yeah.
He played video games all day. His mom just fed him food, and it's like he just like, we're gonna go like walk the stairs, dude.
Yeah.
I think
like something you'd never do. Huh?
I think their question is like, what would you use as like a gauge of progress? Weight on the scale, BMI chart, or visual progress?
I wouldn't worry about
I
a
would say
BMI
visual.
chart. I wouldn't worry about a BMI chart when you're that heavy. I would worry more about the scale and like the mirror.
Visual progress.
You know, and like getting them to
clothing.
understand, like, getting them to like give you feedback or visually see that they're able to handle a little more each time, or like handle what you gave them last time in a better manner.
I think I think we have to be more specific if we're talking about training or diet.
Yeah.
If we're talking about training,
we're not talking. It's neither. It's just as progress of a person.
Oh. Like how would you measure it?
Yeah.
Like how would you measure
What's
that?
more important?
how would you measure progress of weight loss for an obese person, weight loss, BMI, or visual progress in the mirror?
I would measure it by scale, mirror, and I honestly, this is gonna sound stupid, but the way your clothes fit matters.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah.
Because
Also, you could ask them their energy levels too, because they probably still feel like they have way more energy, even losing 5 pounds, right?
You know, it's
Yeah.
funny. The reason I think the clothing thing matters is because a lot of guys, if you just go by the scale, if they start working out, they're not losing weight as fast as they want to, but it's like they just started working out, so they're probably building some muscle, storing some glycogen, and they're also losing fat, but they can't tell because the scale's not moving that fast.
Yeah.
But if you get them to say, hey, just check your clothes, and they're like, oh, well, my pants fit a lot better, but my shirts fit a lot tighter. We're like, okay, well, we're going in the right direction. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I have a good friend who has always struggled with weight loss, and he just started getting into training a couple years ago, and that's exactly how he's measured his progress.
yeah,
Because he wears suits to work every day, so he's like his pants, how they fit, and his shirts fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Because his weight, he's a big guy, he's like a 300+ pound guy, so his weight wasn't really moving, but he was obviously making progress.
Oh, good.
I was going to say, since Mike has an amazing eye for imbalances and is a wizard with body mechanics, would he ever, or has he ever, considered becoming a posing coach? It would be my thought that he would really be able to help bodybuilders open up weak areas and even program for improved posing with training.
I feel more comfortable training that person so that the pose that they might have trouble getting into would be easier because they're able to like feel that body part. I wouldn't label myself or ever consider myself a posing coach, but I like to stay in my lane, right? So, but I mean, if someone posed in front of me and I could see like how we see on here, like, oh, the he's pinching his back, he's not letting it out. It's like little things like that. I can be like, hey, like feel your elbows roll your shoulder blades open more, or like feel your finger push, like feel your back push into my finger and like open up more. Like there's like super specific stuff I can see where like your tension might be.
Yeah.
But to like judge your pose is just as much as anybody else. Like, do I think it looks good? It's just a matter of your opinion, right?
Yeah. I find as a judge, I get that question a lot, like how to help people pose. And I can tell you what looks good, but I have a hard time explaining to you how to make it look good.
I think that's one of the things Mike is actually good at. So I can assess a physique in a pose and what they could do to make the pose better, but I have a harder time giving them the cues to get into the pose the way I want them to.
Right. Yeah, me too. It's hard to articulate what you mean sometimes when it comes to posing.
Well, I think one of the things is Mike has a good sense of body mechanics.
Yeah.
And explaining those body mechanics, whereas I don't. I'm more going by the pose itself, not the body's mechanics of how the person's standing.
Me too.
Right.
Like the other day, I trained Melanie Horton.
Yeah.
She's a master's competitor. I've been training Mel for a long time. She's a really good person.
She's incredible too.
Yeah. She was hitting her back shots and she was just like hitting them like just flat up and down. So she like pull her arms back and like hit the back shots or throw her arms up and hit the thing. And I'm like, like if you do it the way we row and roll your arms back and then throw your shoulder through things, you'll roll back into the shot. And I just showed her it's this elbow and shoulder dexterity that's stopping you from really opening up your back. And it's just a matter of getting her to go into the pose and then pushing her elbows and understanding that she's digging into her wrist and rolling, right?
Yeah.
Where she had no tension in her hands. She was just pulling her elbow forward.
Yeah.
Like a limp hand and not digging in and rolling. And having that roping up, it's like you just see little things like that. Oh man, it's like those make a big difference. And you see that people have been posing for a long time. They develop these weird habits of not understanding that you can progress into a pose. You can lean, you can tip forward 4 inches, and you can pull that lat spread. Anyone who pulls a good lat spread is not even with their hip when they pull it. They're always forward, and their head's down a little bit, right?
Yep.
But these guys just see you see like super like especially amateurs, they're like tall and they go and like, you know what I mean? Like it's like I pulled it and I opened it. And it's like
There's
just like the more you can even mimic, like even a lat pull down can mimic a rear double, right? If I throw my arms up and I mimic a lat pull down with a roll, then it's like it's the same as our lifting, right? So
yeah. Makes sense. Ian, you had something?
Yeah. What's a fictional character you'd like to beat the shit out of?
Fictional character?
Like from a movie or a TV show that you'd like to just.
I'm gonna think of real life people I'd like to be.
Welcome to say those too.
Can we say fake names for them? I won't say anything because I don't want to start a war.
Fictional character. That's hard to think of off the top of my head.
There's people
I'm sure there's been a million shows or movies I've watched. I'm like, this guy's a fucking loser, you know?
Yeah.
I really wanted to kick the shit out of $1 Million Man was like when I was a kid when he's on WWF. I fucking hated that dude.
Ted DiBiase?
Ted DiBiase? Yeah. With Virgil, his bodyguard.
He was a heel, he was fucking great.
I was like Ted DiBiase, the fake Ted DiBiase. And he had a Ted DiBiase, and he had we used to remember, Paul, we used to call everybody Ted DiBiase who's fake. We used to know guys that were like fake. Yeah. We used to call him Ted DiBiase.
Al made a fake Facebook page.
Yeah, and they had their he had his butler or his security guards Vigil instead of Virgil. It was Vigil.
Yeah. Virgil.
Virgil
really?
Virgil was the real guy. DiBiase's guy was Vigil. Yeah.
Do you remember Al made me a fake Facebook account? Paul DiBiase.
Mike, I gotta show you this. You're gonna laugh.
Everyone, I've always been told I look like Joe Torre before I had a beard.
Look at this.
I want to make a shirt.
You guys know who Joe Torre
dressed
is?
like the $1 Million Man.
Look at this. Tell me this isn't Paul.
No.
Joe Torre?
Oh my God,
before
are you
I had
crazy?
a beard.
Look at this is Paul.
Before I had a beard.
Look at that's Paul when he's not.
A little bit.
I'm gonna get all these Joe Torre comments now.
No. I saw actually a guy who looked just like Paul in the gym the other day. I was going to take a picture of him. I didn't want to get weirded out. Yeah. He's like your doppelganger.
I got a lot of doppelgangers. The longest time, before I had a beard, when my face was fatter too and I had more hair, I used to always be told that I looked like Lou Ferrigno or Joe Torre. All the time.
Lou Ferrigno, I don't see that. I don't see the Joe Torre.
They're the Lou Ferrigno one's definitely there. There's a slight resemblance.
Must be some like fucking like Italian.
In that picture there, the top left corner, the second one. I can see it there.
Yeah, for sure. Same musculature, everything. It's crazy.
Who's the guy from
Fitting image.
Who's the guy?
When I was younger.
What's that show with Larry David? Fucking.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Which guy do you hate on that show?
There's a guy that looks like you on that show.
Who? Jeffrey?
But cast.
This guy.
Yeah, his buddy.
This guy.
I don't look like him at all. This guy's overweight.
No, but not the weight.
Fucking dick, bro.
What do you mean?
Jeff Garland. No, Jeff Garland, are you?
Jeff Garland?
Yeah, he's in that picture right there with glasses on.
No?
Right there, right? Far left.
No, you guys don't see it?
They have a little similar shape to the nose, but that's about it.
When I had a fatter face, maybe.
And the little lips.
Yeah. I have little lips. I don't got little lips.
You give him a complex now.
Sorry,
for
little.
You
started it.
He shows up to the cottage with lip injections.
Yeah, some big
little lips down, guys.
Yeah, a couple big fucking livers hanging off my face.
Ian, what are you doing?
I'm looking at the questions.
What do you got? You look tired.
Do you think you could beat Tom Cruise in a fight?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, he's little. Yeah. Smash his fucking head in.
Holy fuck, Paul. You're aggressive. You're aggressive.
Yeah, I don't hate Tom Cruise or anything. Just because he's so small.
Smash his fucking head in.
We've answered this. We've answered this. Either go to jail for a year or with a Rubik's Cube and you can leave when it's done.
The Rubik's Cube and leave when it's done. I can finish it in a day.
Probably take you longer than a year.
even if it took me a month, it's still less than a year, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I can solve it.
I don't think I could either.
I'd never come
John's
close.
son.
I think if you fucked
one of
around
those fake ones.
enough, you could probably get it done. Yeah.
This isn't
It's
fake.
a combination. It's a sequence of moves, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
nothing to do with like.
You ever see John's son? He could do it like in 10 seconds.
John's son does it in like 7 or 8 seconds. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I could do this in a fucking day if I had to. I'm definitely taking that over the
I'm
fucking.
confident I could do it within the week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would take that bet, Fouad, because I'll bet you after an hour you get frustrated and throw it against the wall.
What do you want to bet? You have to get a tattoo of Rubik's Cube if I can
Yeah,
do it
but
again.
if you don't do
No.
it in a week, you gotta
No.
go. You gotta stay in for 2 years. So either
How
choose
am I
a
gonna-
year or you do that.
How are you gonna
You know
what?
I mean?
How am I going to monitor your honesty?
I'll fuck it up, right? You can come here and fuck it up and then leave, and then I'll show you when it's done.
But you could probably watch a YouTube video
What?
on how to solve it.
Watch a video, you can solve that in 20 seconds, you know?
Yeah.
Is there YouTube videos on how to
Is there a video? Try
Oh,
and do
sure.
Try
I'm
and
sure
follow
there
it right
is.
now.
Yeah, try and
let's
do
see
it. Let's Google it. YouTube, how to solve a Rubik's Cube fast, and just do the moves. Let's see if we can do it.
Yeah, because there is a combination to it, I think.
Yeah.
5 seconds.
There you go.
That's the record?
No, that's how fast this is saying you can do it.
Oh.
Okay, this is way too
CFOP
fast.
is
Gotta show
actually an
step by step
acronym
for
for the
fuck's
4
sake.
steps of the method. First, you build a cross. Then you solve the first 2 layers, or F2L, by forming pairs of pieces that go in the slots left by your cross and solving each of those 4 pairs. This is fast.
I'm more
Whoa.
confused than when we started.
Yeah, me too.
First, you make a cross. How the fuck do I make a cross out of this? Except C-Bum, who do you think in classic? Ah, come on. What's your ultimate dinner dessert combo? Mine would be street tacos and Ben and Jerry's. That's what he said. Ultimate dinner dessert combo.
Street tacos.
Pizza, and I had this sticky toffee pudding the other week at this place in Oakville called Olive Press with like vanilla ice cream. It was one of the best desserts I've ever had.
That sounds very like.
That does sound good.
It sounds very
Twady.
smart.
Thank you.
What did you say it was?
Sticky toffee pudding.
Sticky
Wait,
toffee.
I'll have the sticky toffee thing.
What did you have for dinner?
Pizza.
Oh, okay. You always have pizza for dinner.
Yeah, I had lasagna too. I lied, so I had 2 of those.
I noticed
Pizza
that
was
about
that
you.
bad?
You know, everywhere I've been to eat with you, you get pizza.
Yeah, you do got
Yeah, you can't miss.
Yeah.
You can't miss with pizza. If you're unsure of the menu, pizza. But that pizza was good at that place in Windsor. That's why I kept ordering.
I guess we answered the opposite to this question, but if you could get rid of
Ikata? Yeah.
if you could get rid of a mandatory pose, which one would you pick?
The most muscular.
I'd probably get rid of. Well, you got 2 side poses that show a lot of this. I'd probably get rid of the side chest. No, that doesn't make sense.
Get
Yeah,
rid of the crab. Get rid of the crab most muscular.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like it.
I mean, I
I
personally
don't love the front lat spread.
I feel like the
personally would
most
get rid of-
muscular. I feel like the most muscular hides the most faults.
Yeah, but it shows muscularity well, so it's like if it was me personally,
Yeah.
I would get rid of the abs and thighs, but that's just to like make myself more competitive, you know.
What about the front lat spread?
That's like one of
Yeah, I'm
my
not a big fan of that pose.
get rid of that.
What does that really show us?
Not a whole lot that the front double doesn't already show.
Right. The front double exposes you more.
Yeah, and then you have the back lat to show like you're actually
The front
Yeah.
lat shows density through the chest more because you're able to flex around. Like
And
you're
taper.
able to pinch through things, push
So like,
out more.
but then you show that on the side chest and the most muscular. So it's like
Yeah.
there's always a pose you can get rid of. Really, I mean, you know,
Not really. I feel like they're
front
all
and back
pretty-
double. I think are the only poses you like can't get rid of. You know,
The front double and back double are probably the most important to me.
Yeah.
You need one side, one front, one back. So it has to be, for me, it would be side chest, front double, front, back double are the most
Yeah,
three
I'd probably
most
keep-
important shots.
I'd probably keep side try over side chest because the waist is exposed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't hide it. Yeah,
So
you're, right.
you're still showing the side leg. You're still showing the arm to a degree.
You're still showing the chest on that
Still
side.
showing thickness.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you're exposing the waist. So I think that's a good one to expose flaws. Yeah,
Yeah, you're still showing all the same shit on a side try that you are on
you
a
still
side
have
chest.
your elbow. You just don't have your elbow bent, so it's not like flexing your arm quite the same. But you're showing more of the tricep than the bicep.
But
so
you
it's
can
like
hide. You can hide more on a side
Yeah.
a chest than a side try.
100%. Yeah,
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 so side
definitely.
side try, front, back double are the most important.
And abs and quads, maybe.
Then I like for sure a back lat spread.
Yeah.
If it was up to me,
Yeah.
I would get rid of the front lat spread.
I would
yeah.
agree.
I feel like that's the, I don't want to say most useless, but I feel like you can cover all the stuff in that shot on everything else.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, Ian, I'm letting you host. You got 2 more before we go?
Maybe. Let's see.
I like this. You're hosting today. I don't have to do anything.
Get to take a break.
Hmm.
I mean, this is such a random question. Did
Do
any
you guys smoke cigars?
I've been smoking.
I do sometimes.
Should I bring cigars this weekend?
Yeah. No, I've
You
been
inhale your cigars?
Definitely. I'm going to bring some.
No,
I
I've been
don't.
smoking lately like a fucking poor person is some fucking backwoods lately.
What's that? What's backwoods?
Little wine tips.
Oh,
White Owl.
No, they
White
don't
Owl
have tips.
Gars?
We
White
don't
Owl
have
Gars?
tips. We don't have tips on them. They're like a normal cigar, but they're like basically what you would fucking roll blunts out of. Like they're like
Yeah, they
So like
empty them
this,
out and
like
then
this.
they
Oh,
smoke with them.
yeah.
like these.
Yeah.
Like Bradley Brothers.
Paul, did you get sponsored by them? Are they sending you free stuff for your weed? Is that why you're bringing
They
them?
are.
That's
They sent me
Bradley
some
Brothers,
cigars. They
Oh,
sent me
that's
some
the-
cigars, and I do roll
That's
blunts
the
on them.
Bradley Brothers ones.
What was
Those
that,
are-
Paul? Bradley Brothers? Oh,
These ones, Ian.
Yeah.
but they're like
Just like
grimier.
just like
They're
that,
grimier.
but more ghetto. Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
They're like flavored too.
They're
Different
definitely,
flavors.
they're definitely like the urban black man cigar of choice.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Urban.
Yeah.
I just said it. So
Yeah, but you can't.
You have to bleep that out.
could Hani Rambod coach a world-class strongman? Obviously, yeah.
To what? To be a strong man? No,
I think he could, no problem.
no, he couldn't.
I think he probably knows or could learn the training very easily, and I think the nutrition he would do no problem. I think he could figure it out, no problem.
Well, yeah, but okay. Could he learn? Yeah. Would anybody go
With
to
his
him?
given knowledge, could he do it? I think so. Yes. Could he do it as good as some others? I don't think so. No, but I think he probably understands what type of training makes you the strongest. I think he understands that the amount of food that these people would need to eat. So yeah, I mean, I don't see why he couldn't.
Those guys have really specific training protocols. It's not like
I
bodybuilding at all.
No, I get
Yeah,
that.
they're crazy.
I don't know if Hani could do it. I mean, could he learn to do it? Yes. If you said to him today, "Hey, go coach Eddie Hall to be world's strongest man," and you're not allowed to research anything, just with the knowledge you have.
And yeah, probably not. No,
I don't, and I'm not. It's not anything.
I think you could implement some things and make it work, but do I think it would be the most optimal in terms of what there is out there in terms of knowledge and coaching for strongmen? Probably not. No.
I bet you if you asked Hani, he would say no.
Yeah,
I bet you could really help them with like accessory work and like
Yeah.
making them better at lifts, but I don't think he would want to focus on the actual
yeah, you're probably right.
strong
I just never really knew what strongman stuff was about until I talked to Kelly, one of our good friends who does
Oh, so it's
Was-
so
yeah.
it's
was
so-
a world class power lifter, and he was
Yeah.
like, no, this is how we get to a show, and it's kind of like just as complex as getting a bodybuilder to a show, but in a
very
different way.
specific in terms of
Yeah.
like your
Yeah.
organization with the
Yeah.
lifts. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't know. In my head, for some reason, I think that Hani's been around long enough to maybe have a pretty solid idea and been around those guys and talked to these guys enough that he probably has a pretty solid idea of what goes
Look,
on.
is he an extremely intelligent coach? Is he the best bodybuilding coach on earth? Yes. Does that mean it translates to strongman? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if it. I don't think so.
hard to say.
What else you got there, Ian? Anything? We'll do one or two more. You're gonna train
Enter
for a second?
Sandman.
We got
Take us
what?
out with a prayer, man.
Oh yeah,
Enter Sandman.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's bow our heads.
Pray to the
Okay.
Emperor.
Yes. Well, okay. Dear leader, thank you once again for our health and for our companionship. And none of us have been entered this week, as far as I know. And starting the week on a good note here, and I'm looking forward to Thursday. Thank you for friends. Amen.
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 All
You're
right, boys.
supposed to close your eyes, Paul. We're all closing our eyes. And your eyes are open.
We can't tell if my eyes are open or closed. They're like little slits.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.